Yeah, I think we're live, boys.
What's up?
Welcome, everybody. Is sound okay, everyone? You test. Here's okay. Lance, Amir.
How's
Test.
everybody doing tonight? Let us know if anything sounds off.
Tell us if you can still hear us breathing. We did troubleshooting, and by we,
Us, Lance,
yeah,
or is
us.
it a particular person?
We It's unclear who was had the breathing last time. We don't know. But it's been solved. We think.
Okay, so looks like audio is good. No complaints thus far. So we'll go ahead and get this kicked off. So welcome to another episode. I'm not sure what episode we're on at this point, but another episode of the Lance and Ray podcast featuring Jazzy champion Amir, two-time, fresh
Two
off his
time.
win.
Lucky, got lucky.
Oh,
So Amir's had an amazing third strike career, and he continues to have an amazing third strike career. So today we're just going to kind of go through the history of Amir. This is his episode. We're going to be doing a celebration of him today, kind of talking about his history with the game, Jazzy, Evo, Japan, Chun-li, all that fun stuff that people want to know about. So how's it going, Amir? How have you been since the finale?
Doing good, actually. I'm really happy. Thank you guys for having me on, and sorry it took so long with all. Should have been on a little earlier, so I apologize. But overall, doing good. Like taking a little break from Third Strike, playing casually the last couple of weeks, and just happy overall. Like I'm just glad to be able to compete with everybody and be able to show up. I'm 41 now, so I'm guess lucky to be in the community.
So how was it going home as the two-time Jazzy champion? Let's just start right there with Jazzy
It
since it's
felt
all fresh. So
I didn't really feel it until like the next day. I was kind of in shock because I was like, damn it, that was like quite a run. And I was nervous. Like every year, I'm always nervous going into the tournaments and stuff like that. A lot of people say like, oh, you get over it and stuff like that. Maybe with like the spotlight, but well, when you make it that far, like, you want to do well. So just thinking back about all the matches and thinking about like, hey, I learned a couple things and I'm improving. That was one of the main things that made me really happy was like, hey, I actually improved a little bit. So I could really feel like I felt more confident in certain matches, and there was things that I still need to work on, of course, but just felt good.
and then you auto called this year, right? Like and last
Yep.
year, last year's
Uh,
one too. You auto called.
yep. So I went to
How you
Arizona last, and shout outs to the Arizona crew, Bailey and everybody. They're just super nice, very welcoming. Everybody's really cool there. Had a great time. Um, and yeah, I mean, competition. It was very interesting to see the difference between like let's say like SoCal and Arizona. A lot of character diversity in Arizona. I would say there's like Necro and 12, surprisingly.
they got a lot
uh,
of damn necros out there,
Yeah,
and
yeah, they
like
really
that,
do.
yeah.
That's like Arizona's definitely like a necro friendly.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, it was a cool time, and I'm always going to show up to auto calls when I can. I tried to make it out to the NorCal one, but kind of just bad timing. So next year, though, if there is a NorCal one, I want to try to make it out there because I've never really been in a long time, and I'd like to play like Neiman again and Mike and everybody.
Yeah, that was that Magic Tech. That venue
Mhm.
looked really good. Like from the photos and everything they see, it looks like a beautiful venue there. Yeah.
It was really sick.
is Magitech different from what is it called? They've been playing it. Sucker Free Arcade. Is that a different place or the same?
I'm pretty. I think so. I
Okay.
can't
Yeah,
confirm.
Okay.
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. So you auto called this year, going into Jazzy, taking a look at the top 16. Who did you feel would like be your biggest opposition this year? Like,
Immediately Frankie, because when I played him in 2023, I just got utterly destroyed. It was probably one of the worst beatings I've ever had in like my third straight career. It was to the point where I was like, oh cool, I can't even hit like a low jab because I would just get like swept like every button, and I was like, damn, like Frankie's really locked on. Like it's insane of how well he can just counter poke and just punish you and make you feel like you can't move.
yeah, in casuals that entire weekend, like me and Cho, I know we were trying to trading off like Yon against this Ken. He's the first Ken player I've seen that was checking my low forward with low short Jinrai. Like I've seen Kens do that against like Yuri and low forward. But he was doing it consistently against like my Yun low forward, and I was like, "What the fuck is it? I can't press low forward. Like this button's broken. I'm not allowed to do that." So yeah, Frankie was on fire that weekend. So besides Frankie, who else were you worried about?
Just everybody in general, to be honest. Like, I don't have like a lot of Ibuki experience, so when I played Yogurt Brain, I was very nervous. Also, like in Silo when I was playing him, just Hugo, just completely different Hugo than SoCal Hugos. SoCal Hugos are much more aggressive, so I could get away with more stuff. But when I played him, it was like, oh, I really need a turtle. Like if you noticed in the match, there was one thing I remembered to do. I was just thinking in my head, I was like, you know what, play safe, run away. Like it doesn't matter if you look stupid or scrubby, just like walk back the entire match and just run and just make them come to you and frustrate Hugo. So that's what I tried to do.
Yeah, and Silo had like he got double jeopardy by Chun, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel bad about that one. So
It happens. It's part of playing low tier. So,
Yeah, that's what they
um,
signed up for. You know.
um,
Yeah.
so grand finals against Frankie. I know Frankie got put into losers real, well, not like first round. I think right. He picked Arlieth, which was that's a tough draw there to
yeah,
pick Arlieth.
I was really surprised he picked Arlieth because they just recently played at a previous tournament too, and I was like that looked like a like it was just scary. It was a scary match. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't have picked that match, but I guess he was just really confident, so that shows confidence. That's good as well.
So he lost to Arlieth and then had like an incredible losers
Hmm.
run. He gets back to you in the finals. I think he beats you the first set, correct?
Yep, yep. I think
What's
it was
going
three
through your
one.
mind there? Yeah, 3-1. Yeah, what's going through your mind there? Like,
I was like, so the change that I did over the last couple of years was like, don't beat myself up, don't overthink, just breathe and focus. And there is a way out. Like, there's always a way out. There's something you're doing wrong that's not working. So I was like, Amir, just change it up, or just don't be nervous. So like, you could see me on stream, and it looks kind of goofy because you'll see me like breathing, and like I was just like trying to breathe and relax. That was like my main thing of I guess this 2025 year, where it was just like go in and play calm because if you get mad, you're just gonna deteriorate, and your gameplay is it's gonna show. It's gonna suck. And I was just lucky. Like, I mean, I felt like I was moving around a little better, and I felt more confident in the last set. I play better under stress and pressure for some reason. When it gets more serious, like I just the adrenaline gets to me, and I'm like I get more focused. I guess you could say. So I'm usually happy in that scenario.
so you mentioned like playing with stress. Like I used to watch a lot of the old FFA videos back when I was a kid.
Mm,
And that environment looked mad stressful to be honest with you. Like people just screaming stuff and yelling things. Um, so I mean, I obviously you have a lot of experience with it. Can you kind of walk me or talk me through like playing back then, back in the day, like that when that type
yeah,
of arcade environment? Because I think a lot of newer players don't understand like what it was like back then. Because now I feel
sure,
like it's kind of like friendly and
yeah,
everyone's happy and rooting for you. But like I'd watch these old videos and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ! Like I don't know if I could deal with this type of heckling. So kind of walk me through what it was like back then, back in the day, and how you kind of
sure.
found strike. So
So, SoCal's community was like much bigger back then in the FFA days. But there was a lot of drama between players. Like me and Pyro never really got along, so there was a lot of tense moments every time we were playing in tournament matches, and we had like our little crowds of like cheering against each other or and stuff like that. But yeah, people were definitely a lot louder. Nowadays, everybody's super friendly, but back then it was like even if you lost like one round or you got hit by like one fierce, everybody's just like screaming like, yeah, they want you to lose, and that puts pressure on you. So there's a lot more pressure when you want to win for the people rooting for you. And it was also a huge pride thing because I mean, I'm sure this has been mentioned quite a bit, but back then in the family days, like, it's different now, but like there was a lot, everybody was like super arrogant. Like it was all about like I'm the best. There's like the scrub machine and like the pro machine, I guess you could say. And they wanted like priority to play against the best, and they didn't want to play against people that didn't know what they were doing. It was kind of rough, but I mean, like nowadays everybody's so different. Like I played with Pyro recently, and he's the nicest guy ever, and all our beef is pretty much gone. And then things like he's still kind of a bully. He'll be like, "You suck," or "You need to practice," or play safe," or like, "You're doing everything wrong." I mean, he's like a aggressive coach that just wants to see you do the best of your ability and to play the game properly. So I can see why he's doing that. But yeah, the FFA days were fun. There was like 10v10s and just lots of screaming, and just lots of pride. That would be the word that would be like the most important thing. Pride was very important in those days.
Yeah, my sense, and if you want to talk us through this a little bit, my sense of things of then compared to now, just kind of springboarding off what you said, is that there was
Mhm.
a much more, it was very competitive focus. Like we've all heard the stories of the big boy cab, right? And
Yep.
even at Jazzy 2 years ago, when I think it was the first one you came out to, ye enforced the big boy cab. It's like you, Yuki, Chi, Rithi, a few others. Um, right, and over time, probably it's with people getting older and maybe don't know, maybe there's culture changes or something. That's somewhat diminished. So yeah, I guess the question here is, have what changes have you noticed over the years? How would you compare back then to now?
Sure. Some other things I can mention is people did hide tech. So, like, if you figured something out that people wouldn't tell you,
Mm,
they would just abuse it in tournament just to win. So you could be like, "Hey, I'm the best, and I learned." And if you want to compare it to 2025, now everything's on YouTube. Everybody's super friendly. If you want to know how to like Daipan, or if you want to know, like, I didn't even know how to store legs for 20 years, and it was probably the scrubbiest thing, as a Chun-Li player, not to know. But I
yeah.
learned pretty fast, and the community was super nice. I posted on Twitter, and everybody was really nice to me, and I learned, and now I can do it. I still don't think it's super necessary, but I mean, it's just something that you should know. And back then, like that would have been hidden 100%. No one would know except the players that would do it. There was very hidden stuff, but that was also a lot of drama. That it caused a lot of drama because another thing back then was not everybody could play like tournament mode. I got complained at about that a lot. Like Power used to think I would sandbag on purpose, and I wouldn't. I just didn't have that like adrenaline slash stress level to play tournament mode, I guess you could say. So I would play casuals and I would lose, and they're like, "Oh, you're sandbagging." I'm like, "No, I just don't feel that pressure." And it's not something about like money either. It's more like just when you're in the tournament, that stress really can get to a lot of players to really like hardcore focus and play like super hard. So
That's interesting, right? I feel like most people we talked about this with a few people on the podcast of like a lot of people shrink when the lights are on, right? And that is something that there's a lot of talented players in the community, but one thing that separates like the very top from like, oh, they're also still very good is like, okay, when the pressure's on, you got to win the 2 out of 3. Can you do it? So most people kind of talk about like, yeah, I kill it in casuals, but I just can't do it in tournament. You sound like you're just doing the exact opposite. That's very unique.
pretty much, yeah. Like that's one feature where it's like a lot of people tell me, and I don't want to like gloat about it, or like I'm not arrogant in any way. It's just more like people usually say like I play better under pressure or in tournaments specifically. I don't know. I get a feeling like I want to win really bad, I guess you could say,
Mm.
and like Yi was mentioning something that was really funny. He's all like, imagine like your life is on the line. Are you gonna do something stupid like Hazanshu randomly against a Ken? And I was like, oh, okay, you're right. Like, cause there was something that caught me off guard. Rao did that against Frankie at Evo as like an ender. He like just randomly Hazanshu'd, and I was like, he literally threw everything on the table. It was like poker. It's like all in, and Frankie parried it and won. I was like, if that was his life, he would be dead. Like if it's like Squid Game with like Third Strike. So then it's like don't do that. So yeah, something to think about. Play like everything just means the absolute. You just have to do it.
Play like you're in Squid Game. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that makes sense. No, yeah, I've definitely so I kind of came up, you know, getting advice from Yi as well. I know he can be quite harsh at times.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, yeah, he's told me I'm really trash multiple occasions. It's good for us. Yeah,
It is. It is.
I've done the same. I mean, I played a first to five. I mean, speaking of Hazanshu that gets you killed, I played a first to five versus Heboryu in Japan like 7 years ago, and I think I tried to
Mm.
end the round the exact same way. And yeah, Heboryu just parried it and killed me. And
Yep.
Ryan and
Yep.
Yi are both like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like,
Yep.
"I
I've
don't
done
know."
that too, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stupid.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
exactly.
I'm
That was
sorry.
my answer
Like
as
I'm
well.
yeah, like I'm just like I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Like I'm never gonna do that again. Yeah, pretty much. That's why I think players like Justin Wong, for example, over there is he really plays smart. Like if you think about it over like 2 decades, he's one of the smartest players, and I feel like it really pays off. Like his style of play is the way it should be played in tournaments, in my opinion. I mean, obviously there's things he could work on, like carring more and lots of special tech, but just in general, like look how far he's gotten and how dominant he's been. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's insane, right? Like, I mean, I, don't-
Mhm.
I think people who are very good at Third Strike have they give Justin his respect. But I've always had the sense that people don't quite respect just how good. I mean, obviously we know he's good at all kinds of fighting games, but he's very good at Third
Yep.
Strike. Yeah,
Hmm.
at tournament level, tournament Third Strike especially. I mean, he's like up there. He's like in that top conversation in my opinion. So yeah.
I've played him maybe like 5 times in my history of like 2 decades. I've lost every single time, and it wasn't even like close. It was just like I just got outplayed every single time, and I still can't figure it out. I'm like, damn, he's so good at waiting. He's like the best at just sitting there.
Yeah, when I played him at Texas Showdown like 2 years ago, and it was the same. It was like, okay, we're playing competitive, but then when the last hit comes and I have to get that one last hit, it's like I just can't find it. Like he just won't let you hit him when it really matters. I'm like, yeah, that really speaks to his level and his poise.
Pretty much. I remember I always love watching like Evo matches in general, or I remember very specific ones like him versus Nuki. A lot of people hated it because it was like top three were Chun Li's, but for me, it's very fun to watch like the footy game and the way people microstep and small things that really matter to me. Like microstepping so important, and just watching them play was such a joy. And Nuki like overcoming his turtlingness, like because I'm pretty sure in Japan they don't play like that, was just very impressive to me to like break Justin's like barrier pretty much. And then also one of my favorite matches, I gotta give a shout out to Evo, was Justin versus or sorry, not Justin. It was Daigo versus KO. That was like my favorite match ever of all time because that was when I was like, wow, Ken can look so cool in like a tournament match, and that was like one of the most hype matches that I've ever had to watch. Sorry, I'm like choking over here.
No, for sure. Okay, so speaking on that topic, Chun-Li mirror. How do you feel about the Chun-Li mirror? I gotta get everyone's
I
opinion.
like I fucking love it. Honestly, it's a
Okay.
really fun matchup for me. Like people say it's like, oh, you're just like hitting buttons. It's like, no, you're waiting for Chun Li to hit buttons, and it's fun to like reversal super like half the things she does. And it's frustrating because I don't have a lot of Chun Li's to practice against, so
Mhm.
that like matchup for me is kind of difficult. But in general, like I love playing it. It's fun for me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting
I
you
feel
say.
like that's
Oh,
a
go ahead. Sorry,
matchup
Ray.
that like, oh yeah, but I feel like that's a matchup, right? Like, if you're a Ken main, you're gonna run into like a million Kens, and like you'll go to the arcade and you'll just see people running Ken mirrors all day long, right? But like Chun mirrors, like you just never see people playing that. Like it's not like, hey, we're gonna sit down and grind an hour of Chun Chun, right? And then even when you log on to Fightcade, there's not really an abundance of Chuns to be honest with you. Like, I definitely fight a lot more Shotos or Dudleys or Kumos or whatever than I do Chun Li's, but I feel like that's one I was talking to Lance about it because I was learning Chun Li there for a little bit, and I was
Mhm.
just like, yeah, I don't think I could ever main this character because like I don't think I could ever play Chun Chun in tournament. Like when it came down to it, like I don't understand this matchup. I can't play it worth a shit to be honest with you. So like, yeah, I could never main this character.
I'm sure you could learn. Like honestly, like the another thing I like about it too is that it can be like really high velocity or like just turtle fest. So it's just interesting seeing the different play styles of like all the SPO matches of Chun Chun. Some of them they just go ham, they car like 5 times, like they're just completely full on like aggressive. But then other matches they just sit there for like 80 seconds. So it's a fun matchup for me. I know a lot of people hate it, but it's an interesting matchup. It's not boring.
Yeah, I think at least from my perspective, I think round one there's a lot of skill expression, right? And you're playing with all of your tools. You're not afraid about getting reversaled. So there's some rock paper scissors involved, right? Like crouch medium punch goes under back fierce, and you can somewhat whiff punish. Her crouch medium kick with stand fierce. It depends on the timing and stuff.
Yep.
And then round two, you kind of play that out. Probably, often like, there's the meter is what it is. And you're kind of already looking, at least in my experience, you're kind of already looking towards round three. And you kind of both arrive at round three and you both have 2 bars. And it's like, well, okay, next crouch medium kick wins.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know I agree it's fun. It feels a little random to me, but only in round three, I would say. Like round three feels random to me. I know, but and it's funny that you said like you don't have that much Chun Li experience or Chun Li mirror experience because I feel like every Chun Li feels that way, right? Like I used to say the same. I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. I'd play Gavin, and it's like I don't know what to do. I don't play this matchup. I think Ryan doesn't. He has even said like he doesn't play that much Chun Li mirror. So like, I wonder who does have like a lot of Chun Li experience.
Yeah, like yeah. Now I think about it, there's very few Chuns at FFA. To be honest, I think there's like two or three other ones, but like none of them that are actually actively playing to date. And I literally just run into other Chun Li's in tournaments. Like when I played Rao at Evo, that was a rough match for me. Like
Mm,
I was just like, my whole like mindset, which was really terrible, by the way, I'm gonna say it flat out right now, was like I want to try to hit his low forward. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't try to hit his low forward. Maybe you just wait for him to mess up, or maybe I guess fish. One thing you mentioned recently is like the third round really feels like a fishing round. It's like, oh, is he gonna mash down? Is he gonna mash forward? Like a lot of the times, like you might not even try to hit like forward. When Chun Li stand fierce, you're just trying to move forward a little bit, so it's like auto parries.
mm,
So there's a lot of fishing in the third round, in my opinion. Yeah, with meter for sure.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Especially if you go into the third and you're down meter and they have
Yeah.
2 bars. Like that's always the worst. Is like, oh yeah, I spent my meter to kill, and they have 2 bars going to the third. It's like, okay, all right, well next game. It's just yeah, brutal.
Okay. On the topic of Chun Li, since we're on the topic, okay, a couple
Sure.
questions. What made you pick Chun Li? And also, kind of walk me through like your opinion of Chun Li, like maybe what some of your thoughts on some of the matchups. I'm very curious.
Sure, sure. Okay, so what started me to play Chun Li? So I played in New York when I played Third Strike when it came out. It was during kind of like the MVC2 days when it came out on Dreamcast as well. Chinatown Fair had everybody playing Marvel and Third Strike pretty much, but everybody that played Third Strike was literally 100% Ken and Chun. There was no Yuns, there was no Yangs. I didn't see. I don't remember if people were around. Like I never saw Nika there. I never saw like Chris G. I played Chris G like 10 years later, but back then it was like Arturo, Justin, Eddie Lee. Everybody respected Eddie Lee. Eddie Lee was like the Justin Wong, before he was Justin Wong. He was just great at turtling. He was just really amazing at just waiting and frustrating people. And like he was really happy about that. That was his playstyle. He would do everything in his power to piss you off. Like he would taunt, he would jump away for like 80 seconds. It doesn't matter. It was just like he would get to you and you would just keep screwing up and you would just, you'd keep getting punished for it. And back then, even Eddie played Chun-Li. So he played Chun-Li in Ibuki, but back then it was mainly just Chun. So we all just wanted to try to beat Eddie Lee and Arturo pretty much. And like 90% of the community played Chun-Li. So
Interesting. And I think you mentioned earlier before we hopped on that even Yun wasn't around yet for those first few years.
nope. Like back then, people were playing like Yoho Yun and like Genichин wasn't even like, I guess it wasn't even a seen thing. Like people didn't know about it. And back then, we didn't really have access to YouTube. Phones weren't like advanced like they are now. The Kuroda VHS tapes weren't even out, from what I remember. So like everything was very limited in the States. So it's just like, what could you do? What was the cheapest shit at the time? And Chun-Li's like, palm low forward was like pretty much like the easiest thing to do at the time. So they're like, oh, just build meter and do these two things in super and you can win and just throw. So she was like the most generic character at the time.
Okay. And maybe I'm not sure if you remember when were you guys Kara throwing from day one? Kind of like fine Kara
No,
throw? No. Okay.
absolutely no caring at all. Like literally just like move forward, throw, or just like stand fierce palm and low forward. That was it. That was like your three best buttons.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. No, you're fine.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay, on the topic of Chun Li, so
Mhm.
um, I think you had mentioned to me a couple jazz ago, your distaste for one of the matchups, but I don't remember what it was. So maybe you can remind me. What matchups do you
Sure. No.
enjoy as Chun Li? What do you hate?
Okay, sure. Makoto is my most hated match, I would say.
Okay.
I just feel like it's very hard to stay stable against her. I want to call her like a gamble character. I know you can play her very stable. Like Neobon can turn on super aggressive and super turtly and just play it to the point where it feels like she's a different character. But there's I would say like a lot of the SoCal Makotos are very random, so it's very scary. And I don't know. It's just like there's certain times I couldn't even low jab. I remember I was playing Arlieth and he would dash in super and I would low jab and it would still hit. And I'm like, oh cool, I can't even low jab, and then I would die. So that's not fun. But yeah, for me specifically, Makoto is very scary. Uh, some other matches that I actually really enjoy is Yun. I played Pyro so much and Yun in general, where I feel like it's a fun match. I still think Yun's better than Chun overall. I know everybody's
Yeah.
gonna shit. Everybody's gonna shit on me over that, but that's fine. And I'll explain. I'll explain some things that were very frustrating for me over like 2 decades. Every player crashes out or gets mad, and it's okay. Like it's okay for that to happen. I think the thing that's very hard is to come back and stay calm and just be like, oh, I can improve, or what can I do wrong calmly and really legitimately want to get better. I would say 80% of the community, and I know this is going to sound rough, plays more casual than they want to do well, if that makes sense. And I know this is going to sound mean, but let me explain. So there's players that will go to locals and play, and then they'll come back and do the same thing next week, and that's totally okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But in a tournament sense, or if you want to go to like let's say like SBO or Jazzy or these stacked tournaments, you really have to have that mentality of where like, what did I do wrong that week? Why did I lose? Like, what can I do better every single time? Like there was a point where I didn't know how to reversal super certain things, and I'm older, I'm 41, so I started writing them down on my phone. And I remember this is another story that brings up family fun times. Victor Lee, Dudley player from Family, who I respected a lot, and Dudley's one of my favorite characters. He would write down stuff like on like a little notepad. It wasn't even a phone at the time. He had like a little notepad. It was like, oh, don't do this, or Young can cross you up, if you quick rise. And I that got me thinking. A lot of players are doing that in like SF4, 5, and 6. Why can't you do that in Third Strike? And I don't know of any other player that does that. So I mean, I highly suggest that you should write things down. Like I have necro specifics that I don't know of what to reversal punish, and I'll look at my phone before a tournament match. It's totally legal, and it helps you. It gets you to force yourself to learn more about character specifics and to get you to that next level, pretty much.
Yeah. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
I went to New York recently, and Skipper actually had the physical notepad and was
No, did
taking.
they?
Yeah, in January, like Skipper, I seen him like writing down stuff in between matches. I was like, that's awesome. I should probably do something like that.
It
Stuff.
really helps. Like I really, really enforce that. Like I think you should not only write things down, but always just when you leave a session, just be like, why did I lose? Or if you lose in a tournament, rewatch your footage. I know analyzing's really important. You get to know like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or why the hell did I do that? Like I'm pretty sure me and Lance, I'm sure you'll agree, we're never gonna Hazan randomly ever again with no life, like ever in our life. So yeah, stuff like that. Play safer. What's optimal. I'm still learning. Like I'm not. I want to come off as like I'm not arrogant, and I always want to try to learn more. Like I'm going to try my best to help people, and I know my gameplay is not the best. A lot of times I really believe I'm maybe like top 500 chuns, not even like top like 100, and I just want to get better. And that brings back another thing about Yi, like complaining at you. He's like a bully coach, but he generally just wants you to improve. So it's like he was telling me to red parry more often and parry like it's third strike, so that's a big benefit that people need to learn too. It's like abusing parry is very important, gets you out of so many situations. So that's something I don't do often enough. I need to parry more. So just small examples like that pretty much.
Yeah, I have a it's pretty similar to what you kind of outlined. I for so I lived in Alaska for when I first started, and so it was a long plane ride back from any tournament I went to. I went to maybe like one or two tournaments a year, and I would go, and you lose at some point in the tournament, of course, and then I would like use YouTube downloader to get the matches on my phone so I could watch them on the way back, and then I would just keep pausing. I just keep writing notes to myself, and I would just write like a whole essay in like Google Notes or whatever. If I read it again, a week later, like, okay, now I'm going to work on it. It looks like the ravings of a lunatic. But in that moment, yeah, I'm like just dissecting everything. Like, okay, oh, you got to do this more. Like, I'd have like a whole philosophical change. Like, okay, from now on, you're only going to do this. And this all happened on the 6 hour plane ride. But yeah, it's similar, I think.
That's funny because like I love that you sound really into it too. So it's really fun to. Yeah, I'm exactly like that. Like I'll lose and I'll be like, okay, what did I do wrong? What do I have to do next? And like it just feels so good to have like I guess like a plan, like I don't know 1 through 5, and it's like I'm gonna try 5 new things next time and
Hmm.
see which one works. So those are always great times.
Yeah. Ray, how do you feel about Yun being better than Chun-Li?
Don't agree. Well, I take it back. There's probably a handful of people in the world that can make Yun as broken as he needs to be, and I'm not one of them. So I can't admit that Yun's better than Chun. But I don't know. I feel like Yun's he's hard to be stable with in tournament, whereas like Chun Li, I feel like I mean, but this is like me like grass is always greener on the other side, right? But like I feel like Yun's like I don't know. I feel like it's easier to land a low forward than it is like to drop a Ganaging combo and recover and get a good ender and meter build and then run away. Like I don't know. People are just like, yeah, just run away and get your bar. It's like, yeah, run away from Amir and get your bar. Like, see how easy it is. Run away from Yi, get your bar. Like, see how easy it is. Like, they'll fuck you up, dude. It's so hard to play such good defense against people like that. So, I still feel Chun is a more stable platform, but I don't think we're ever gonna like solve this debate. To be honest
No,
with you, like Yuns are
it's
always gonna say Chun's better, and Chuns are always gonna say Yun's better. So,
That's true. That's something I can mention if you want. Do you want me to tell you guys why I think Chun Li's not like absolute god tier? Or I
Absolutely.
mean, she's absolutely broken. Don't get me wrong, but let me explain the reasons why I get frustrated and why I considered quitting her. Plenty of times, of course. I'm sure you guys have seen my rage, like tweets about like, "Hey, I'm never going to play her again."
Mhm.
So I'll explain and I'll try to be fast about it. So, number one, she can't really do anything without meter. I know, like people are like, oh, she can just poke you and throw you, but like when you get to like super high levels, like there's people that will eat like 10 throws and you have to Kara 10 times and you have to get that Kara 10 times successfully. And when you do this over a period of time where you're playing like hundreds of games, so you have to Kara thousands of times perfectly, that's very difficult. And people don't give Chun-Li credit, like players credit for that. Other things too is like she's great with meter. She doesn't have good wake up, so I feel like I get bullied against Ken sometimes. Like on wake up, like he can stuff like everything pretty easily. And yeah, you can wake up parry and guess and stuff, but you still have to guess. And if you guess wrong, that's half your life without meter on a lot of characters. I also feel like her Oki is not strong, like at all. Like there's very limited things you can do after you knock someone down. You just throw them again, I guess, or palm. But like, let's say like Ken can like universal overhead, double uppercut, and that's like half your life. Or like Yun has a command throw. Like I wish I had a command throw. Like I just want an ability to be able to open you up without meter. Like I understand that Chun-Li's broken with meter and that Karring is really strong, but like I said, Kara 1,000 times very very difficult. I know I've explained this like before, but like character specifics, like I'll Kara 9 times in a row and I'll miss one, and Pyro will get like a low forward super off like a miss thing, and it'll go into again at you, and they'll push me in the corner, and then he gets Oki, and I have to deal with all this shit because I missed one crucial Kara, and it's really frustrating because it's like I played perfectly for like 80% of that match. My execution's pretty damn high, but then like, damn, I missed one or I lose for it. Okay, cool. Like that's it just doesn't feel like I don't know, stable, I guess you could say. There's more room for error with Ken and Yun, in my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. You can shit on me all you want. Than there is Chun. Like when Chun makes mistakes, she gets punished very hard for it. Um, it's not like she just recovers and just bodies you. It doesn't feel like that to me at all.
Thank you for speaking
Yeah,
the
I mean, I,
truth.
I mean, I tried to learn Chun for, like I said, I played her like exclusively for like a couple of months on end because that's one of my worst matchups as Yun. I feel so I was trying to like, okay, what is this bitch scared of? Like, what is she like worried about? And that is one of the biggest things. Like, okay, like once like let's say Ken gets meter and I'm Chun and I don't have super and I'm not threatening, it's like Sunny would just like gen right every single one of my whip buttons, and Yuki would
Mm.
gen right every single one of my whip buttons, and I'm just like, oh, okay, like yeah, there's a certain amount of risk reward that I feel like you have to learn with that character that a lot of people don't understand. Like when it comes to like mid level or like even lower level, like I'd rather play a Chun Li than like let's say a Dudley or something like that, because like a Chun Li's not gonna jump at me and take half my
Yeah.
life, whereas like some ape of a fucking Dudley player will
Yeah.
do a jump around house and take half my life,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, I didn't anti-air that, but I feel like at the highest level when like people can play like really really strong defense with Chun Li, it's like, oh fuck this character, like, and she's so short and her hitbox, and it's just she's a lot. She's a lot to deal with, but
Okay, but what about like when you get a Daipan loop on her and do like 80% of her life, and
I
then
can't
you?
do that, Amir.
Okay,
That
I'm
can
just
never
saying
happen.
when you do,
I
yeah,
play
like
honest Yun. I play honest Yun. Oh 04 Yun.
Euphoria,
So,
even
yep.
Euphoria, and like you could
Yeah.
force her to block, and command grab so strong against her, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just like she takes a lot of damage too. Like, and she jabs like a monster. So like, if you down parry or if you launch her when she's ducking, it's like more life for her. I know it's
Mhm.
sounding like I'm trying to like underplay Chun. I think she's absolutely broken, but you have to just have the execution, and it has to be flawless, and that's just hard to do. And I know Yun's very execution heavy too, but like Yun with Taipan loop and like, oh god, his Oki's so strong. It's just like when he gets you in the corner, I'm like, fuck, how do I get out? Like, or what am I gonna eat? Am I gonna eat a command grab? He's just gonna wait. Is he gonna parry? Like,
Yeah.
like I just feel scared, I guess, on wake up, you could say.
And
Ken
that's one of the
too.
things I talked to Yuki about when he was talking about Young Chun. Like I was like, how do you beat this fucking character? And he's like, oh, you just trick her. Like just knock her down in the corner and just trick her.
Yeah.
Like just get her to the corner and just run set play on her. Like that's the only way you're gonna win. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense, I guess. So,
It's funny
but
because I was talking to Bessels about this recently too, and I'd be like, stand piercing is low strong. This is Chun versus Yun, and you know how like Yun's love to low strong, and I'm like, just micro step or just wait or just like move
yeah,
forward and wait. Like you can punish all these things, just do it back to her. Like it's not like her buttons are so broken you can't hit her buttons back, in my opinion. So it's just it gets to that level of play where it just gets fun, more and more fun, and I don't know. Just I've been having a rough time with certain matches, so that's why I like it. Not trying to downplay Chun. I'm just having a rough time. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think it's
yeah.
fair
My,
to
my advice.
Uh,
Sorry, Lance.
oh no, I was gonna say I think it's fair to point out the difficulties in the character, and I think you've been kind of alluding to this basically. But yeah, I've always felt like one of the big skills of Chun-Li is playing around your opponent's parry or strongest options in round one, especially when you don't have any meter. Because like you said, her threat level is much higher when she has meter. But
Yep.
yeah, and especially in some of those stronger matchups, like Yun and Ken especially, like you have to be playing around parry constantly. You have to be
Yep.
like, I can't just walk. And whenever I see people be like, oh, like I'm tired of losing. I'm just gonna pick Chun Li. I'll show how easy it is. The thing they struggle with is that you can just see it. Like
Yep.
they just hit buttons, and then someone like a Sunny or a Yuki or a there's plenty of Kens are just gonna just parry everything. Low forward Shoryu. Or they're still just
Yep.
out Genrai every whiff, and you're like, and in that moment they gotta be like, oh, like okay, maybe I don't know exactly, and that is the hidden skill of Chun-Li is like, okay, there's so many things I'm not allowed to do here. I have to get to one bar. I have to stand my ground in neutral without, without getting blown up. Basically, I mean, yeah, like you said, this is two players of a really great character downplaying her, but it is a skill that I think people kind of dismiss and that they don't, fully appreciate. Anyway,
I could bring up a match too that is interesting. Another thing that is frustrating. Watch like Deshiken versus Nuki, the first of 10. Even though Nuki won, I'm just saying there's a lot of Kens nowadays that are willing to play super reckless, and it's just frustrating because like jump in, jab, uppercut, dash in, low parry, uppercut. It's like
hmm
it beats 98% of what she does. Like
hmm
she can't do anything besides block or parry, I guess. But like if you hit a jab or if you try to throw, like everything just gets beat, and then it's just constant pressure. And like yeah, you can wake up SBK, but if you do that against a good player that punishes it and kind of like conditions you not to do it, you're just stuck. Like you're in this vortex of like, fuck, I have to deal with wake up. What do I do?
Yeah, it's
So
interesting you
just
bring
some
that one up,
weaknesses she
right?
has.
Because
Mm.
Deshiken had just so that first didn't happen because Deshiken had just OCV'd the Chun Li team at pre-coup the year before, including beating Ricky Maru. And I know, like, one of the things that Yuki pointed out to me, and I don't even remember this properly. So if anyone in the chat actually knows what I'm talking about, maybe only Yuki knows. But he said, like, oh, he was listening in Japanese, and Yuki said he had to invent an answer versus something Deshkin was doing on the spot. Like Deshkin was doing this way of attacking in the corner, where basically Nuki had to like not guard jump, but like pseudo guard jump. It was some weird crap like that. Like he had to start standing and then he had to jump after so many frames. And he just kind of figured that out on the spot because Deshkin was just blowing him up for his standard defensive choices. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, Chun-Li's a hard character, guys.
Yeah, like how we're just like we're downplaying the shit out of her. And no, it's not like that. She's broken,
Yeah,
but she can lose. I think the one thing that is really hard for Chun Li players is that we just get shit on so much that we're like trying to defend that, like, hey, she can lose. Like
yeah,
she's not so broken that you just hit two buttons in your God mode. Because if that was true, then everybody and their moms would be playing her. Like when you play, like I dare other Chun Li's that want to play Chun. I mean, other characters that want to play Chun to play like Frankie and try to hit a button, like literally. Like he will counter poke every single thing you do, and it feels like sometimes you just feel helpless. It's weird.
hmm yeah. Frankie has that effect for sure.
Yeah,
Do you feel
Frankie,
like
world class
Frankie's
Ken for sure.
Do you feel like Frankie's just like the best Ken versus Chun Li, or do you have any opinion?
Yes,
Yes.
easily. Like out of 20 plus years, he's the Ken that I'm just like I was like, am I washed up? Like, what do I do? Like when I lost him in 2023, I really, really was like determining like, can I play this game like anymore? Like why couldn't I move? It was weird. I felt frozen. And it wasn't like I was super nervous or anything. He was just like on his game. Like I've never
Yeah.
seen a Ken like lock in or focus that hard on the way Chun is moving or poking. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So I give a lot of respect to him. Like I'm still in shock that I was able to even compete with him Jazzy this year. If anything, I'm just really happy that like he helped me train a little bit and he gave me some like pointers of what to do. And it seemed to work out a little better. I mean, I didn't completely get like 3-0'd to the point where it was almost like perfect every round. It was bad in 2023. I was in shock.
Yeah. So yeah, talk to us about that a little bit then, because yeah, like you kind of said, like 2023, you played Frankie. He beat you kind of clean, right? I don't,
Mhm.
And then when you guys play in grand finals, when he's in losers, it kind of looks like, oh damn, it's that again. Like here we are again. Is Frankie just gonna win this whole thing? And then in between sets, like there's probably like 2 minutes between each set. You make a couple adaptations that totally swings the game around. So what did you do, and what were you thinking about?
Sure. So this applies to like general tournament knowledge too. I mean, this is my thought process pretty much. So if I'm moving and let's say like I want to play aggressive, it's not working. Obviously, switch up gameplay and like play a little slower. But I don't feel like you should have just like that set play 100% of the time. A person that I can mention that does this really well is like Neobon. He can turn on super aggressive mode or super. I'm just going to wait the entirety. But then once he downloads you, like he knows exactly when to move, and it just looks like everything just comes together. It's not one or the other. When I played against Frankie, I feel like I was attacking more, and it wasn't worth it. And I kept thinking in my head the way he was mentioning it, he's like, play safe. Try to move around. Don't stay like still. Like move with him, dance with him, if that makes sense. Because he's moving around so well. It's like you need to say like, hey, I can do that too, or like I'm gonna follow you and I'm not gonna hit anything. I'll just wait till you do something. And it was difficult, and I still feel like I got lucky, but I was able to like dash under things. I made sure not to punish certain jump ins that way so he couldn't parry. um and I just didn't want to play the same way that I played the first set at like 100%. I was like, something has to change immediately, or else I'm just gonna lose.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, it's very hard for a lot of people to make adaptations in that. I can watch my footage and be like, okay, next time I'll do it. But doing it in the middle, like, okay, I just got put in a loser, so I got to change stuff now. I mean, that's definitely a skill because I feel like most people could not do that. You know.
Yeah, like a couple other things I'm just trying to remember. Sorry, it's like kind of trying to bring back as much. I feel like one of the unique things I have for Chun-Li players, like I stand strong super a lot, and I feel stand strong has like a little bit of more range than low forward, so it can clip Ken a lot better. It's also like a good way of like locking him down from jumping because I know Ken's like to like they get nervous in the corner, they want to reset the match and go mid screen. That's like another huge thing for Chun-Li too. Like you never want to be stuck in the corner. You want to get to mid screen. So stand strong super definitely I feel like is very abusive, and I feel like I do that a lot against the Ken matchup specifically.
Yeah, it's really strong versus Ken. I think. I mean, I watched it was like MOV. It's like I don't know. All the matches kind of blur together after over the years, but it was like MOV versus Ken in Co-op Cup, like 10 years ago or something. And yeah, he just only hit the stand. He just walked back and forth hitting stand strong only, and I was like, oh, that move's good. And yeah, it is. Like you play versus Ken, you're like, oh damn, this beats like every. But like it can be whiff punished, right? Ken can stand just
Yep.
outside crouch medium kick Jin Riot. I mean, he can even Jin Riot if he wants to be real fast, but yeah, I mean, it's very strong in that matchup.
Another thing I can mention too, like just thought process wise going in with Frankie was like, okay, so Chun Li's, pretty basic character for like abusing things. So I was like, okay, he's down pairing a lot. So how do I beat that? Like on my mind, I'm like, stop low forwarding. It's not working. Obviously, 90% of Chun players play like that. So what do? You car or you stand strong. You move forward, you micro step a little bit forward and you mess with his timing. So if he's gonna mess up the parry and that stand strong is gonna hit or a low forward's gonna hit. You just have to keep mixing it up that way. I feel like that's why I actually like stand strong so much. I feel like it's another way of stopping mashing down parry, for example. Not that I'm saying Frank does that, but I'm just saying like you're trying to parry something with characters, you know what I mean? So it's like it's a way to beat that, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, I agree. That's the problem you're solving in that matchup. And Chun Ken is Ken standing outside that range, and he's just buffering parry, and he's going to just whiff punch anything you
Mhm.
do. And that's the problem you're solving. Like, when you turn it around, that's probably what you solved, right? And so, that walk up stand strong, of course, solves a lot of problems. I mean, it's a great button. But yeah, no, I agree.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense. That matches how I've experienced that matchup as well, for sure.
Another thing too, like I was playing Yi, and this is another reason I can't thank him enough for the training stuff. It's just like stand around us is such a good button where you can hop over sweeps or low forward, but it's like Frank is so good at movement that I was like, I'm just gonna every time I did it, I got punished for it. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. Make sure you're gonna throw him or your buttons are gonna hit because if I whiff something, he's such an amazing player that it's like I know I'm gonna get punished. So it's like it's just scary. Like there's 6 games and like you really have to shift on like maybe I should make sure everything hits instead of whiffing because I'm losing because I'm whiffing buttons. Like don't whiff. So
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly the same strategy. It's like, well, I played Frankie and Jazzy a few years ago, and I thought the exact same. It's like, okay, you cannot whiff a single button. So everything. Well, if you're gonna whiff, it needs to be like fucking half screen away. But if you're in range, you like make sure every button connects, and make sure that you will save. Like if he shimmies backward at this moment, your button still
yeah,
needs to connect, right? So yeah.
pretty much. That's something new I'm learning too. And I'll tell you something. I'll be totally open about it. 2025, I'm very weak against like dash-ins.
Mm,
Like let's say against Ken and Makoto, but Ken specifically, I used to just jab check it, but Ken's can recover and down parry, and then you lose like half your life. So E was like, Kara immediately when you see the dash,
mm,
and
mm.
I'm like, I can't do that. That's insane. Like, and he's like, try it, and I did it and it worked like 3 times. I'm like, oh shit, like. Damn, this is really good. But it's like it's very hard and it's scary because I don't want to miss it. And what if he just microsteps and I think it's a dash or something. But that was another way I figured out how to get out of dashes. I tried against Frankie a couple times. It didn't really work very well, but like I need to adapt to keep doing that because that's how to get better. And that's like the way it should be against every other kid in the world.
Hmm.
So it's got to improve.
Yeah, yeah. Have you tried the I know Yi was talking about this like a couple years ago of like for Chun-Li it's close roundhouse, right? So
Mm.
you react to the dash with close roundhouse and punish it before the dash recovers. Have you experimented with that?
Yeah, I've tried. I just feel like it's slow. I swear, like sometimes I feel like her ass comes out, but then I get thrown, like the animation for it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't want to risk whiffing. You know what I mean? So at this point, I'm just either just gonna jump away or throw or car throw. Because jab and roundhouse is, I feel like jab especially is just don't jab. It's not worth getting parried for. And roundhouse, I could try more, but I'm not good at it. I mean, if I see you doing it or if I see other people doing it really well, like
Oh,
I'll
I can't
try.
do it.
Like I want to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
why I
can't
asked
either.
because
So
I
it's
couldn't
like,
do it.
yeah, it's difficult. Like his dash is so fast, even offline. So it's still something I need to work on. But that's it's scary.
um, awesome. So you kind of talked about this a little bit, but kind of zeroing in on it. So you played in New York, and then you moved to LA at some point, and
Mhm.
you were part of, like, okay, I started in 2011, so I was a little bit after everything had kind of settled down, I guess, and then before like the new stuff had taken off, so kind of in that in between era. But I watched a lot of like SoCal footage, like Ranbats, SBO qualifiers, the Doctor Sub Zero podcast. I watched that. I've listened to every episode like 5 times. Now you were
Sure.
kind of like at the forefront of all that. Like you weren't making the content, but you were a big part of that content. You were like one of the marquee names. What was that experience? Just kind of talk to us about the SoCal experience in that time period. Did you guys feel like you were like rock stars or famous or something?
Um, I would feel like Pyro did at the time, but mainly just in SoCal. Like, we didn't think we knew like foreigners were going to be stronger than us. It wasn't even just specifically Japan. We are like, there's got to be other players out there that are just super strong. I remember a lot of us just like really appreciated the way the Japanese played, and when Pyro got to travel for the first time, he came back and like was telling all these stories, and everybody got super excited. They're like, oh, we need to get better. We need to get better. And we were just so outclassed at the time, though, that it was just like it was a beating. But if anything, Pyro, I think, won his first match when he went, and I think they went on to second round. I think so. I mean, I remember back then in most games, everybody was like, "Oh, U.S. goes there and they lose first round, and that was it." And like you would just go home, and it was just like, "Oh, we got bodied. Maybe we'll do better next year."
Mm,
But the amount of joy that people had when they heard about that and that there were just so many good players, everybody just wanted to learn. There was like a good like 30 to 40 people at family. I would say the community was so much bigger for SoCal specifically back then. I mean, Anthony was included in there, and now he's running Jazzy and everything, and it was just really cool because everybody was just so genuinely happy to play Third Strike and get better. And yeah, the leading front was like everybody was looking up to Pyro because Pyro was the one that was like doing Ginnijin, and he was beating most of the people that he traveled back then. Like he went to Texas. The first time he played Justin Wong, he destroyed him. That was a big family fun match, by the way. I gotta mention that because Justin was like an outsider at the time, and everybody wanted to see him lose. And everybody was cheering so hard against him, which I felt bad for, because it was like 100% against Justin.
sure.
But that was a very big matchup that really gave everybody like like Pyro's the best in the States, and we need to get better to beat Pyro pretty much. And yeah, everybody's just really happy. Like Third Strike was such a big deal to everybody. Like everybody would come out weekly. I when I came to Los Angeles, I was really really good friends with like I guess Shogo and John D. They're I would consider them my best friends at the time. Like I would just go to family and we would play like WoW together and stuff. And um, we would just keep constantly talking about Third Strike. Like Shogo was the one that would always tell everybody about like, hey, there's a new VHS tape, like VHS tape, sorry. And then there was like the Kuroda matches, and there's this guy named Kuroda, and like there's this guy named Hayao, and they can do these things that you've never seen before. And everybody back here is like, Hugo can do that. Hugo can win. Yeah, bullshit. And it's like they see that match and they're like, oh my god, they can beat like the absolute best. Like it's insane, and they're actually like doing it very comfortably too. There's a lot more stress in the States than there is, I would say, like Japan. Japanese players in general seem just more happy and calm when they're playing. Whereas like over here, everybody's like super serious face in tournaments, like they want to win. And back then, like money wasn't a big deal. Like I got to stress this a lot. Everybody's like, oh, they played for money, and it really wasn't money. It was all pride. Like we also wanted to be the best. So family definitely had a lot of arrogance and egos, but I feel like a lot of players in SoCal at the time got to prove that they were really good. And it was just fun to compete with everybody. The drama back then sparked more interest as well. Like it was like East Coast, West Coast, or it was like Texas versus SoCal. And back then, players were talking about like Mopreme and everybody, and it was just interesting to see like, oh, there's another Ryu like in Texas. Like he's super good, and like we have to beat him. Like
Mm.
we can't have the lesser Ryu. Like SoCal Ryu has to be number one. And I was like, okay, sick. Okay, so everybody just wants to be their best, and they want to just show up. So we just, then there was players like me. I was like, I'm going to show up casually and try my best. I just wanted to beat Pyro because Pyro was kind of like a jerk to me at the time. And I was like, I'm going to get good one day and I'm going to beat his ass and I'm going to make sure that I can compete with him. And I was happy that that happened. So,
Yeah, and you kind of mentioned going over to Japan. Me, I used to watch the FFA footage when I was in high school. I mean, Jesus Christ, that's a long time ago, I guess. But I think I was a junior, and I used to watch him on, I think, Google Video, I think. Like, I used to watch those, and then I would download like the KSK RAM bats like off
Yeah, the
BitTorrent and
KSK
stuff.
Rampix.
Yeah, but I would always look forward to like the SBO year because it was like, okay, who's gonna team with what? Like even me from Texas and like nobody or whatever, just lurking SRK. Like, what was that like then? Like putting together a team for SBO to try to qualify.
It was like everybody was really interested. Like everybody wanted to qualify. I was actually really happy we even had qualifiers. And back then there was like special players as well, like Ricky Ortiz, for example. She was extremely good, like super strong Ken and Chun. And like the play style was so vastly different. And there was just so much confidence that like family players were like, oh wow, like you can play like that. Like I remember Ricky did like little short stand jab, and the stand jab would whiff. But back then, everybody's like, "Oh, the way she does it's so fucking sick!" Like it's just, it looks so confident, and like she's just beating your ass. And it's like, I don't know, like everybody just got more excited to play more aggressive and talk about teams and stuff too. Sorry, a little off topic, but so yeah, I mean, there was times, people would talk about like, hey, what other players can go, what players want to go. At the time, not a lot of people were willing to travel all the way to Japan. They just want to compete against like the best in SoCal. But yeah, like I mean, there's Pyro, there's Kenai, there's like Arlieth, everybody. Everybody really wants a gun to try to go because SBO is such a big deal at the time. Um, Even now, it's like if you look at certain matches of SBO, I just want to bring this up because it's a big memory for me. I don't know if it is for other people, but do you guys remember the year Nuki and Daigo teamed up
Yep.
and Nuki lost? And Daigo comes up. Not only does he look sick as fuck, like he just looks super confident, he looks super cool, like an anime character, but he just casually goes and fucks up KO like really easy. Like I don't know, it looks so smooth. But I was like, after that match, I'm like, dude, I want to feel like that. Like I wish I could play like that and just walk away smiling. Like it was just so dominant and it was just so cool looking. It was like it looked like an anime pretty much. And I just remember that was one of the greatest matches too that I saw. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I remember some of my favorite footage. I think it was '08. It was like you, Imphy, and Yi teamed.
Yeah.
Like playing against Pyro's team. Like that's I always point to that. Like people are always like, "Oh, what's some of your favorite third trick videos?" And like that whole set from the SBO auto qual for that. I always like link to that one because it's like Imphy was doing shit at the time that like I hadn't seen before. Like I remember he put out like him and Opera. They put out like Spring Whaling. I'm not sure if you remember that. Like I
Mm,
learned he put out like an hour and a half long match video of just him playing casuals like Ken, Yun, Yuri and stuff. And like I learned so much from that video of like you can parry out of the unblockables. What? Like you can reversal Ken low forward on block with Genrai. Like holy shit! But this is like '08. This is like I think maybe even before that actually. But like I always point back to that video as like this is like some of the hype of Search Strike. And if you go back and you watch it, like it holds up. Like the footage looks good. Like the play level of play looks good even for it being like '08. So. But
yeah.
yeah,
Amphi was a big deal back then. Like nobody saw like John D was like the signature year in a SoCal, but their play styles were so vastly different. Like Amphi showed that you could just sit there and wait and be a wall. I know like that's another thing to bring up too. I guess you could compare 2025 Urian to back then Urian. And I know this is going to sound mean, but it resolves on like a completely different tier list. Let's put it that way. From I would say like John D Prime, Emphy Prime, and then Resolve right now. Resolve is just an amazing player. But yeah, back then like Pyro didn't see like a really good Urian that would just sit there and wait. Most of the time he could just get away with like shoulder tackling and doing whatever he wanted. But Amphi was like locked in, like I'm gonna parry everything, don't shoulder tackle me. And he would build meter and have these setups we've never seen before. So even then, family a couple of years later, the game was just still like progressing and people were still excited to get better. There was actually a handful of Urian players too. So once they saw Amphi come down and he was doing well, they were like, we need to get better, we need to get on his level. And people still stayed in the community for a very long time, like more than 10 years.
It's interesting. Like there's always like one big Urian in America at a time. Like like you said, it was Doctor Sub Zero, it was Imphy, and then Doctor Steelhammer for like a few years
Yep.
there, and now Resolve, which I agree is I will sound the bells about Resolve. Like, look, I'll just say this: anyone who thinks like, oh, Resolve's overrated, Resolve's only winning because of online, you're deluding yourself, and you can play him at 3SO and find out. Like, I think Resolve's like a tier one player in America. Like, he's like top five in America. I mean, he's insane.
Yeah, honestly, like the level of improvement. I was going to mention this later, but I got to mention this real quick. The number one award for most improved would be Resolve in this last 3 years. Like,
Yeah.
playing him 2 years ago to now, it's like I'm getting destroyed. I played him at Barcode, and he's just it's so fun playing him, and it's frustrating because you lose, but it's just like, damn, he's on this level I need to get at. Like I need to improve to be able to beat him, and it just feels like I'm just stuck at a wall that I just can't break or open or move. It's weird. It's like I'm trying to dash in and do things. I'm trying to counter poke and like none of it's working. So I'm just like, what do I do? Just run and build meter then. Like, well, what's my desperation move? So I'd like to play him more often though, and I can't wait to see him in Texas for sure. It's going to be really fun. I think people are going to be very surprised that how much of an improvement he's made. And like you said, playing against him is different than watching his videos online.
Yeah, I know he's been like, I mean, he's been kind of tearing through Fightcade for the last 6 months, but you can tell that like people aren't really quite. Most people are like, okay, Result's very sick, but people aren't quite ready to totally give him his flowers to the extent that, I mean, yeah, like I think he is. And he's only like what? He's like 20 or something. Like he's gonna be here for
Yeah.
the next 15 years. Like I'll be
Yep.
dead before he's my age. So yeah.
But
Yeah, and
yeah,
I mean,
I
oh sorry, you're gonna.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, and he did so well at Evo. Like, it was great. Like, I went to Evo that year, and it was like amazing seeing him up on stage, and he beat Shirokiro,
Mhm.
like, and Shirokiro at the time was like the boogeyman that was coming. Like, oh God, he's coming. Shirokiro's gonna be at Evo. Like, tough one, and then yeah, Resolve just swung him, and he was just up on stage and just looked so happy too. Like,
Yeah,
I was like, man, I wish I could be as happy and as good as him at third strike because he just looks like I'm just having the best time. And then like you'll see me going up for my tournament matches and I'm like fucking sweating and I just look like sweaty and desperate and just like yeah, and Resolve's just like having the best time. Like this game's fun. Yeah, and I'm like so yeah. Shout outs
there's
to Resolve though. I can't wait to see him at the Open. So
me too, me too.
Yeah.
One
Go
real
ahead.
quick thing I want to mention too. During Evo, I was like, these are the ones like my predictions. I was like, if Resolve plays against Chun-Li's, I'm like pretty sure he's not going to lose. I was like, I'm willing to bet, and no one bet me. But I was like, I think Resolve's going to beat all Chun-Li's. And then I also said like Frankie, like because Frankie, honestly, I think is best Ken versus Chun I've ever played against. I was like, there's no way he's going to lose against any of the Chuns. And like he played Rao, and I'm like, when he beat Rao, I'm like, oh, yeah, see, I told you so. So those two players really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, and those are the two Americans that placed the highest, right? They both made top
Yep.
six, top eight.
six, yeah,
Yep, top
Yeah,
six. Yep.
nice. Wow.
yeah, because Evo's top six now or whatever. I think
Top
I
six is
think they're
not a
going
real
back to
thing.
top eight.
That is not.
It
you
isn't. You
know,
got to run these
We
Chipotle
can't let them
ads.
get away
Like
with that.
top six, 100% real. Like, well, I think this year they're like, hey, we're going back to top eight, guys, and everyone's like, yeah, like top eight. I'm like, they just gave us back what it should have been before anyway. Like, don't cheer for that. Like, so what it should have been to begin with, Because I think top eight would have been what Niabon would have been in it, and I forget who else if they did top eight last year for Evo. But yeah, just like here you guys go. You can have back your top eight. Good luck. So.
I still like I want to say good things about Evo though. Like as much as people like, they're not happy with like not real cabinets and stuff, there was 1100 entrants. Like that's the highest Third Strike's ever had ever, I think, in any tournament ever. So the level of competition too, even though it's like, not like the way it was at SPR or anything like that. But I'm just saying the level of competition is still very high. So like getting top 16 is a huge deal. You're gonna play like killers. And it was just really cool to see like the Japanese play and take it seriously, like it was fun. I'm hoping they bring it back because I was looking at the Marvel stuff this year and it's like I think half the
Yeah.
entrance. And I was like, dude, Third Strike's popular.
Not only the Marvel stuff, but I mean, like we were closing in on like City of the Wolves entrance. I think
Mm,
they got City of the Wolves got like 1400 this year, and
yeah.
like we got 1100. It's like not bad for a 20-something-year-old game. Maybe you should have threw us a bone and put us back in there again this year. But 'cause I don't even
I
think we're a side game this year. Like I don't even think like I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be a community event for it or whatever. But like if you look at the I think they have like official side games and like they have like CVS2, Sam Show, a couple other
Yep.
ones, but Third Strike's not in there. They didn't put
No.
it back. Yeah.
Not that I saw. Like you said, I'm pretty sure someone's going to run it, and I feel like they've run it pretty much every year. But to get like I guess eyes on it and video, I mean, 1100's a lot. Like you said, and there's a lot of hype moments. Like Hayao brought a lot. People were happy with Third Strike in general. Third Strike has done very well at Evo, in my opinion, over like a decade. I remember it was one of the first tournaments that had a team tournament, and that was a really fun thing to do, like a team tournament at Evo. Like that's super sick. So I feel like maybe something that should be like staple for like retro games. Maybe they just have like a Evo retro and just have Third Strike like permanently there. That would be really cool.
Do you
I
feel
like
like
it.
there's
I
been a
like it.
gradual? Because I mean, just from reading old stuff and watching the discourse, it seems like Third Strike was not a popular game for a good chunk of the 2000s. Or people thought it was Perry Ruins, whatever. And now I was re- and the kind of king on what you just said. I feel like Evo this year was like the best possible outcome that Third Strike could have had, right? Like Hayao
Yep.
did this insane run, like MOV played Elena. Like I could imagine an alternate universe where it's like, oh, okay, well Evo America was 6 Yuns and 7 Chuns, and people just kind of roll their eyes and say, yep, that's that game. Let's never, but it wasn't like that. It was a
No.
really exciting hype, to the point where I think Valle was like, yeah, why don't we just do Third Strike every year? Like it should just be a main staple game again. Yeah, but anyway, back to my question. I guess the question is, have you noticed
Sure.
that kind of a trend, or like, do you agree that people had reservations about Third Strike before that aren't are really around anymore? What do you think?
That's kind of a difficult question. I feel like Third Strike has always had like drama with that, and but I feel like overall people just generally like the game. I know, like you said, like they'll mention like, oh, it's all top, Chuns, and for example, and I'm really glad that you got to see like Elena at Evo, like Elena in grand finals. Like, what the hell? Like, has she ever been in the grand finals in the States? Like, I don't think so.
I think
So,
so.
I feel like that really brings a lot of hype, and everybody's just really happy. But no, that's a tough one. I might have to not pass on that question, but I don't have like a good, super good answer for it, so I apologize.
No, no, yeah, I kind of just, yeah, no, it's good. Um,
Well,
okay.
I feel like oh sorry, but I
No,
feel like people are still going into it with that like 04, 05 5 mindset, right? Like me and Lance were looking at the top 8 Evo qualifier or like spots before got on the podcast, and it was a lot
Mm,
of like Sean, Sean,
yeah,
Sean, Sean, Panyan, like a lot. But like look at the diversity in like character, like even at Jazzy this year, right? Like
yeah.
Ibuki, Hugo, like
Mm-hmm.
Do we have Yeah, Necro,
Necro.
Rico, John. Like, there's a lot of different characters now. Like I feel like the U.S. has like kind of got out of that. Like it's just young Ken. Yeah, there's footage out there to like I can go learn Ibuki if I need to. I can go
Yep.
learn Necro. Like the resources are there to get good at that character. Whereas like maybe it wasn't before. So I feel like watching Third Strike in 2024, 2025 is it's a good time, man. There's a lot of good character diversity, and people are getting really good with these like mid to low tier characters.
Yep. And I still think the game's progressing. Like I know people are like, "Oh, it's at a stale point." I've heard this plenty of times. I'm like, "No, dude, there's like look at Show Yun and tell me the game is still the same from like 10 years ago." Like this absolutely it's like Marvel at this point where he's like sweeping into these cross ups into these like it's just nasty. So it's just like it's so fun to watch. So.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I was
so many
talking.
resets. Oh,
Go,
sorry,
go.
go Lance.
I was just gonna say I was talking to Yuki about just the evolution of Chun over the years, right? Because if you look back at like the tier lists of like 2005, right? They'll be like, oh, Yun's number one, beats Chun-Li 7-3. And clearly that kind of changed over time to the point where you kind of arrive at 2013, 2014. And at that time period, we're watching Nuki, MOV, Rikimaru, um, three-man teams just crush every other team, destroy the Yun teams. It's like, oh, like Chun-Li clearly is the best character, clearly beats Yun head to head. But then, like the Yuns went back into the lab, I guess, and decided that they can just always die upon loop you and take 80% of your life in one hit.
Yep.
And now it's kind
Yep.
of we kind of arrived at like, yeah, we think it's 5-5 again. That's where me and Yuki landed on it anyway. And Show just won Evo Japan, so
I think it's interesting that you mentioned that. I think 5-5 is like a pretty stable number now because back then there was other tournaments too, like 25th anniversary. I think I want to say Mester won that. I want to say, but I remember Mester was like the one to beat. So it's like it goes back and forth. It's like Yun Chun, Yun Chun, Yun Chun. Unfortunately, I can't argue that Yun and Chun are going to be in grand finals like most of the time. And but yeah, character diversity, like you see like Sugiyama come down, or the one tournament he traveled for, he won. I think he beat Justin and Frankie from what I remember.
Yeah,
That was a while ago, but watching that was just so amazing. Like, wow, he's literally just like I don't want to say toying, but he's so good and so confident that it made Justin and Frankie look like have they played against Necro before? And it's like it's just amazing to get that feeling when you play against players like that. That's why I'm super excited for the Open. Yamoto is like one of my favorite players now, and I'm a big Dudley fan, so I want to see him play. I want to see so many players play. Like I just want to see how well Hayao does in tournament against everybody here, because we're the U.S. We're the cheap shit. We're gonna play like Chun. We're
yeah.
gonna run away. We're gonna try to win. But like he's just gonna like casually bully you and laugh and like do like cartwheels. So it's like I can't wait to watch that and see like how that goes. So it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
one.
sorry, off topic. So going back, the 50-50 is perfect. I feel like Chun Yun nowadays, I would say like 50-50 pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna downplay it and say like 6-4. But yeah. But yeah, Taipan's so strong. It's just Yun's crazy. He has everything.
Yeah, not only like Daipon, it's the resets too. If you watch like show, like he'll reset you and get back so much meter. Like that's what
Yep.
makes him like he's always just like a touch or two away from activating again, and that's what makes him like super fucked up. But you can also play like Issei doesn't really do any of that, right? But Issei is
Mhm.
also like one of the top yuns in my opinion, and like he still plays like it's 2006, 2007. He doesn't do a lot of the fancy stuff. He just beats you over the head with how good the character is. Like this is Yun. This is his fundamentals. Like, deal with it. Good luck. And yeah, um, Third Strike's a good game.
It is, and I'm so happy to see it. Just people are still trying to get better is what makes me really happy. Because there are certain games like I feel like I want to say Third Strike gets more like attention than like Super Turbo in 2025 or like games like that. Maybe even Alpha 2. Like more people are labbing in Third Strike than they are any other game. An example, Tom made like that like script where you're trying to like parry Yogadama because like Bo was just like shitting on everybody and like we're like how do we get out of this shit? And it's like Bo is such an amazing player too. Props to Boa. Always support Boa in general. But yeah, like just Oro's bullying people in 2025. Like what's going on here? Like we didn't have SoCal specifically didn't have. We had like Hung who
Yeah,
played Tengu Stone, and Tengu Stone, in my opinion, is not the way to go. Yogatama is like 100% super strong and kind of broken with if you master it. So I feel like it's the hardest thing in the game to get out of. Would you guys agree to that compared to like Aegis or anything
truly, yeah.
else?
Yeah,
Like,
I think I played Boa in like a first attempt on Koi House, and I labbed how to get out of one of the setups, and then he just like switched the timing on it. Like, so I
yep.
parried out of one, and then he just did another one. I was like, oh well, fuck me. Like, good thing I did all that, research and try to figure out how to get out of this. So yeah,
Yeah, it's just like so that's just a great example, like, Oro dominating and doing well. And there's so much potential for the character in my opinion. And I'm really glad Bo's like showcasing that. And I hope more players do that with their respective characters, like, like Necro, Ibuki. Like I don't want Yogurt Brain to ever get like discouraged or anything. I know top tier is really hard, but it's just like props to everybody that has the mental capacity to just like stick it out and play that character because it's really enjoyable.
yeah. You hear that, Rennick? Stay with Alex, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I want Kai to be happy. I think he could have an amazing Yun, but if he wants to stick it out with Alex, like he's gonna run into Chun-Li's, and it's
Yep.
not a fun time. So like, he just has to stick it out if he wants to. But I was really glad, Tai did so well at Jazzy, and really happy for him. So
Yeah, so it's something you kind of mentioned a couple of times on the podcast, and is that early back in the day, it was like, okay, Japan's far above us. Like we kind of know, like we're trying to catch up to them. We're trying to get sick. Um, and I'm not saying like, oh, we're all the way caught up now or whatever. I'm not saying that. But at 3SO last year, top three was three
yep,
Americans. It was Nika, Frankie, Kang. Um, so I'm really excited this year. Just to kind of piggyback off what you were talking about 3SO, I'm really excited this year. I think this is going to be certainly a top three most stacked American tournament ever. I don't want to
yeah.
put it like at a specific spot, like oh, it's number one, but it's certainly one of the most stacked tournaments ever. To the point where, like, yeah, like if you make top 16, you probably had you're already really sick, right? Like that's what it's going to be like.
Oh, hands down. Like I was talking to, I mean, like I've been playing a boiler, and I was telling everybody, like, even first round, there's gonna be upsets. There's gonna be like crazy stuff that's gonna happen. Like you're not gonna expect it. And like you said, like if you make top 16, you're like pretty much like one of the really good players, like overall worldwide. Like you're a world class player, pretty much. Like I feel like it's gonna be one of the most hard brackets probably in the last couple of years I could think of. Yeah.
Yeah, exciting. I think Ray's going to win the whole thing.
No, I'm not even entering, dude. I got a TO. I don't know.
No, you have to enter. There's like that's mandatory. You got to play.
Yeah,
Like
the
I
people
feel
of
at least that's my opinion. I don't know. I haven't been looking at chat. I apologize. I'm gonna try because I just got like a try monitor set up. But I think everybody would agree that Ray has to play. Like that'd be messed up if he didn't.
yeah, you're the people's
Yeah,
champ, Ray.
fine. I'll enter. I'll enter. I'm ready to go 0-2, boys. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. I get like so stressed out at tournaments already, and then like running everything is just like it's the worst. I think I like went and drank a bunch of beers like for an hour, and Lance had to take over for a little bit because it was like I'm sad, boys. Like I'll be back in an hour. Give me a second. So um, okay. So I mean, we talked about this earlier, but I know you
Sure.
specifically wanted to talk about the most improved players in the U.S. I know you mentioned Boa,
Yep.
and then you mentioned Resolve. I assume is the other one you wanted to talk about.
Yep. So just analyzing stuff, if you want my personal opinion, those two and Yi, like if you notice Yi's gameplay from like 10 years ago to now, like he went to Japan, he was winning, he won a Maniacs and he's just doing really well. And I can't translate Japanese, of course, but I'm pretty sure what they're saying about him are good things. They're not like, oh, he's just some scrubby player or something. Like I feel like they give him, some sort of respect. And that makes me very happy because he's been grinding a lot. Like when he wins and you see him play, like you can tell he's happy that it's like, damn, I'm this much better than I was, like, Family Fun Days 2000s, like it's such a satisfying feeling to improve in this game. Especially when you've been playing the game longer than 10 years because you're like, damn, I made it, like I'm not some stale scrub. Like, like I can compete with these amazing players that are talked about, like you guys said, like we all idolized, like, like Sugiyama and Nuki in that. So like when you can compete with them and beat them in tournament, that's huge. I mean, a lot of people will shit talk and say like, oh, it's 2025 and like Japan doesn't play as much anymore. But no, dude, they're good. Like you don't forget the mechanics of the game. You don't just like lose and suck. Like it doesn't work like that. Like, when you play a game with 1,000 plus games, I'm sure it's more than 1,000, probably 10,000. You're gonna know how to play, and it's interesting to see nowadays.
Yeah, I think.
But yeah, so going back there.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, please.
Going on that question, yeah, Resolve too. Just 2 years ago, Resolve, and playing him at Barcode recently, I got destroyed. It was bad. I remember I was trying to mention, I was like, hey, maybe you should air throw him if he jumps. Like I was in one of your streams, and I was like, try air throwing him, and I was like, just trying to figure out how to beat his wall, and it's just really, I'm really glad to see how strong he's become in such a short amount of time. It's such a little amount of time. It's crazy. And Boa also too. Like I remember I played Boa originally and it felt a little bit easier, but when I played him last, I saw a bunch of new setups. And I respect players so much when I like can physically see like improvement towards like, damn, that's like five new things in a period of like a couple matches. So, you know, they're playing, they're practicing, they're improving. Like they want to beat the shit out of you and win. So it's like, I give a lot of respect to players that just continually learn and want to get better.
Yeah, his rise has been astronomical. I remember like a Jazzy. What was the one? The first one you came out to Jazzy 4, whatever year it was. The first one
Resolve.
in Colorado.
Yeah, for it. Yeah.
Yeah, Resolve comes out and he was like, "Oh yeah, like I thought I was so excited, like I can have lunch with Lance." I was like, "Oh wow." And then fucking 2 years later, he's fucking going on Twitter and being like, "Thanks, Lance, for being so free." I was like, "All right, buddy, we gotta put a stop to Resolve." Break his fingers or something. He's only gonna
Who's
get
on your
better.
Tanya
team this
Harding.
year for the Open? Who's on your team for the Open this year, Lance?
Resolve
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
Exeter.
heard some rumors about that.
Yeah, Bessel's just like, oh, I'm trying to. He's like, oh, play with me, and I was like, no, I already took care of that. Like, we got that shit. When you make teams, you gotta snipe the best players early. So,
Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep.
yeah. Kang, I've teamed with Kang for a decade. We've never won shit. It's mostly Kang's fault. But Resolve's gonna maybe get us over the hump.
Quick shout out to Kang, by the way. Nicest like player award went to Kang for Jazzy 2025. He's just such a chill dude, and like he's just always so happy. So it puts you in like a really good mood when you play against him. And I was really like happy and honored to be able to play him like out of the tournament. We played like a little side match, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what I can do to improve against him. So I learned a couple new deadly things I want to play and use against him when I play him next. Hopefully at the Open.
How do you feel about the Dudley matchup?
Oh, obviously
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that
I was
matchup.
gonna say it's a great
I
matchup.
feel like it sucks. Like Ray was saying earlier, it's like, oh, I hit a stand fierce like a dumbass, and I got jumped in half my life and I have to deal with like three corkscrews. That's not fun.
Yeah.
But like overall, like yeah, that's not a fun matchup for Dudley in my opinion. I feel like Chun. I mean, at this point, like, it's funny because I watched it was Nuki versus Yamoda, and it's funny they just respect each other. They're like, oh, we'll just go build meter, and then we'll go in when we have a meter each. Like at this point, like, well, let's not waste time, and like let's get to the serious shit. And so that was really interesting to watch, and I love that matchup. It's a fun matchup.
Yeah, yeah, fun for us. Not always fun for the Dudley players. But on
Pretty
that
much,
that
yeah.
one you mentioned, Nuki versus Shimoda, I think it was like 10-7 or something. I mean, it was competitive. Like it's possible. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like
especially with Rocket.
if it's 10
Yep.
7 and you're Dudley, you're like, I won.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good score. Yeah.
That's about as best I can do, So.
Yep. I'll never forget that they just like respectfully let each other build meter. Like I'm just like, damn, speed it up. Can we start the game with meter so we can just get the matches faster? So it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Um, something I so we kind of talked about Japan a few times. Now, you've never
Sure.
been to Japan, I don't think, for Third Strike.
No.
Now, is that something that you're interested in doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a dream of mine. I don't know why I haven't gone, to be honest. I should have a lot earlier, but me and Tom are really planning on going 2026. Hopefully, Coop happens again. If not, though, I just want to make it out, play like at Koenji and like a bunch of places, and just experience Japan for the first time. I have a lot of respect for the Japanese and just Japan in general. And growing up, it's like I have to go. It's time.
Yeah.
And I do want to get better though. The one thing I am worried about is like I'll go there and just get bodied because that's like the general thought process. It's like you go there and you're gonna get destroyed. I'll just be happy if I get like a couple games and I get to play against players if they allow me to. Like I'm worried about being like I'm not gonna be some like gaijin guy that's like disrespectful at all. Like I'm gonna be as nice as I can, as respectful. I don't want to like cut people in line. There's like a lot of scary things that E was mentioning that I shouldn't do. So some pointers, but I'm very excited to go, and I would love to play like players there and just play Third Strike there in general.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
got lucky when I went. Oh, sorry, Lance.
oh,
Go
go ahead.
ahead. No, I got lucky when I went and like Genki was like my in, so he would just like parade me around, like Game Newton, like, oh, this is Ray from America, please play him. So I just got to
That's so
like sit
sick.
down and play everyone and like not have to worry about anything. I was using the wrong coins too and felt like an idiot. Like, why isn't the game going? I'm putting in money. Like, Genki,
Wait, what
please
coin
help
did what
me.
coin
Like,
did you use?
I don't know, man. One of their coins has a hole in it, which I didn't even realize that was real. Like I was like, oh, did I get a bad coin? Like, why does it have a hole in it? So I think I was using like the 50 cent ones or something because the arcade I went to the previous night had that. So I was just just launching those things into the thing, and I'm like, okay, well, how much money do I got to put to play in Third Strike? And then like they're trying to help me with like a language barrier, and I'm just like, I don't know, I just want to play, guys. So the Genki eventually comes over, just gives me a handful of coins. It's like, use these. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, thank you.
Oh, that's really sick. Yeah, I would be nervous as hell too. I'd be like stressing out, like what type of yen do I use? Like when do I play?
Yeah,
Like I'm a big dude too, so I don't want to be like, oh, look at this fat ass like taking up like half the space if players want to watch. Like where do I am I gonna go up against a wall and watch like halfway across the screen? Like I just want to be just okay and you know
no, I
welcome.
mean, uh, yeah, I mean, like message Genki when you get over there. He's really nice to us foreigners and like treats us really well when we go over there. So yeah, message Genki. He'll help you guys out, take you everywhere. Like all the Japanese are really polite though. Like yeah, they're like, and I'd be standing there, just kind of sitting in there, like, oh, please go, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine, thank you. But yeah, I tried not to be the guy who just like sits down immediately, like my turn, So yeah, it'd be fine.
I remember I was watching one of the podcasts where you mentioned there was like some woman was like recording stuff off a train on like a stairwell or something, or maybe it wasn't off a train, but it was like there was like stairs and she was trying to record something. And I'll never forget that you mentioned that because I was like, I would be mad at her too. It's like, why are you blocking people from like moving,
Oh yeah, the in
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm so nervous. That's one thing I'm really nervous about. I just don't want to look stupid or be rude. Like that's more stressful than actually playing the game. Like I'm like not even lying. So
No, like in
yeah,
the normal spots, like you just don't even get talked to. Like you just kind of wander around, like like you're a lost child, basically. But when you go to like the tourist spots, there's nothing but just people just being idiots. Like
yeah.
doing TikTok videos or whatever. So you just have to kind of avoid them and not be that obnoxious, and you'll be great. So, but like I was telling people, like when I went over there, I maybe got talked to like 4 or 5 times, and it was usually they would just like compliment my wife's hair, like 'cause she has pink hair, so they're like, oh, and they'd have that type of conversation. But outside of that, like no one even spoke to me, and I just try to. Keep my voice down and just not look at anybody in the eye or anything. Just try to blend in as best as I can. But yeah,
Now it sounded like you had an amazing time though. So you have like really like when do you want to go next? Like, are you going to go next year?
yeah, I wanted to go in December again, but I don't think that's gonna work out. So we're planning to go again, probably for Coop. The second Coop gets announced, I'll go. I want to do the Poe experience, like I was telling my wife, because like Poe went over there for like 2 weeks before.
Hmm.
Like he kind of ended his trip on co-op, which is like great because it's like I feel like you get to go have the authentic arcade experience. And then when I went, it was like a month before, and there was still a lot of like killers out practicing, getting ready. but like Poe went like 2 weeks before and like got to go to every single arcade because everybody was just kind of like ramping up for Co-op Cup. So I think that's kind of my strat if I go next year, which I'm gonna go for sure. It's just whenever it gets announced, I gotta book all my stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely going next year. So
That's sick.
um,
What about you, Lance? Are you going to go? Or actually, I haven't. So, how many times have you been, or have you been?
Yeah, I've been.
Sorry, I have really bad memory. My bad.
No, no, it's good. I have a bad memory too. I'm trying to remember right now. I think I've been 4 times. I
Wow.
went. I went like so. Like I mentioned, I started like 2011 ish, and I went like 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. I think something like that. Um, I definitely had a slow growth process. I was very bad for a very long time. So, like people have talked to me about like, yeah, I want to go to Japan, but I don't think I'm ready. Like, you have to be so sick, and it's like, yeah, I was
Yeah.
terrible. You know, yeah, I had no, from a if you're like a purist competitive standpoint, I had no business being there, or and I had the good sense, I'd gotten the talks from Yi and from Ryan about like, yeah, like if Nuki and Kokujin are playing in a cab, that cab's not for you. Like if everyone else is staying off that cab, so are you, idiot. Like that kind of right, that kind of conversation. So I had that good sense at least to do that. But yeah, I don't know. It's really cool. I mean, the things that looking back on it, and this might just be my old age and indifference, I guess. But what I look back on it, like what I miss, is not necessarily the third strike. I mean, the third strike's really cool, but I like walkable cities because I live in fucking Dallas, and you can't walk anywhere in this stupid city. Um, and I like their public transportation, and I like that everyone's
Yep.
down on the left side of the escalator, and I like that the ramen kit costs $8 and not $20 like it costs here.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like Japan. I would like to go, one more time, I guess. So maybe next year for co-op if everything kind of works out. Yeah, well, that's kind of the goal. Yeah, I'd like to do a Dallas team. My first couple of years, I went with like, well, my first 2 years, it was like it was like the Milky Boys team. So it's like me, Farai, Nate. It's like it was basically like Ryan's white friends. That's what the team was. Uh, yeah,
Hey,
and
that's still a cool team, though.
yeah, it was a
That's
fun
cool.
team. Mommy was on that team as well. Yeah, the next year I went with the team with like Shotokan and Shirithi, and then the last year I went I teamed with Kang um, and Donka. I would like to just do a team of just like the Dallas guys. That's kind of what we're all kind of pushing for. It's like okay, let's just do a Dallas. I don't know how well we'll do. It will be cool though. So yeah, I'd like to go anyway. Long answer, but I'd like to go one more year at least.
That's cool. That'll bring up one real quick thing I want to mention. My dream team of all time
Oh, okay.
that I always wanted to have ever. Like it would make me so happy, and I could still do it in 2025 because I mean some players are still playing. I mean, me and Pyro had like crazy amount of beef back then. Like we weren't exactly nice to each other, but nowadays we're like very friendly. But like I really wanted to do like a FFA 2000 team where it was
Mm.
just me, Yi, Pyro. It could be Kenai's in Japan from what I heard. I know he's not playing, but like it would be cool and it would have been Victory at the time. But like now that I think if it's a 3-on-3, or just I just want that core of like Pyro and E right now because I feel like we mesh really well, and like just good times and brings back like a lot of nostalgic memories. And I think it would be like a fun team to have.
Yeah, I was going to
does
ask you about
Victor still
that.
play?
Oh, but you said who
Oh,
did you
go.
Sorry,
ask?
Victor does he still play?
Not that I understand. The last I've heard about him, he's just like doing just work stuff, and like Third Strike's kind of like not around for him anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah. When you guys were making teams back then, so you've mentioned several times that that Pyro was quite mean to you. Was that I got to imagine that was part of the team building process, right? Was there like factions like, oh, I can team with Yi, but not Pyro for SBO?
Pretty much, yeah. Like me and Pyro, there was 1 year we were planning on teaming, and I just had like a little fallout not to be able to go to Japan at the time, and I apologized, but like he got mad about it.
Hmm.
So there was a little drama there, but generally it was always like me and he would always team. Like I think out of all the team tournaments, I think it was like 90% of the time he was on my team, and then it was like Pyro and Kenai and someone else usually. But yeah, me and Pyro never really. We should have teamed because I think we would have done well, but in general, yeah, there was a lot of drama.
I see.
Good thing that's all like buried now.
Yeah, that's same with me and Ray. Like we can't be on the same team. Like
Of
two.
course, yeah.
Um. Okay, so I think Did we miss anything? Oh no, we did. We missed one question. I did want to ask you about this.
Sure,
Just like a
sure,
self, I just want to get like a self analysis from you, like your gameplay, your strengths and weaknesses, your approach to the game. Because and the reason, like, I already
sure.
told you this background, so I'm repeating my, I told you before the stream, but so like I keep repeating myself. I came up in a time period where you were kind of already gone. Like you came back later, but so I would hear stories about you from other players who were good, and I'm like, oh, Amir was so talented. He's a natural talent, right? He doesn't always know the matchups, but he's just so good at bully third striker. He's such a great fighting game player that he can just beat you off the cap. Like these are some of the things I heard. So that was other people's point of view about you. How they described you. I'd like to hear you describe yourself as a player.
Sure. I'm dedicated. Like if I lose, I'll want to get better and learn. Like I'll go and study. Like I'll review matches. I'll try to seek input from people. Um, I can bring up some funny things too. Like Tom and I, we've been together like I think 18 years this Evo. I actually met him at Evo, and throughout the times when we practice, because he used to actually play like very seriously a long time ago. Every time I play someone in in just like regular casuals, like they get mad. They're just like they always say like I either troll or like I abuse things. That's like one strength. Like I'm really good at figuring out what to abuse against you. I remember Ray mentioned like I walked up and I stand like roundhouse like I think Sunny or someone when I was playing in casuals. I did that against Pyro a lot too, where I would hit like stand roundhouse like 9 times. I just know it would hit because I'm like he's gonna jump, he's gonna jump, he's gonna. I'm just gonna keep doing it until he stops. Like stop jumping, and then like if that works, like I already have like a plan B and a plan C where I'm just like I'm gonna Kara like 10 times. Or there was a match I was playing Pyro recently, and I beat him with an entire round of just sweeping him, and I was like, he thought I was just being a jerk, but I'm like, dude, stop hitting buttons. Like I'm trying to get him to just block, and like I don't know, like I guess I'm good at abusing buttons sometimes, and playing against Tom, like he won't play me anymore because I'll be like block a universal overhead, right? But then in my head, I'm already about thinking about what should I abuse next, and I'll do that. And he's like, "See, you won't even let me train on the first one. Like you're already abusing like two or three other things that I'm not used to." So I'm like notorious for being hated at for I guess playing casuals and like coaching when they're playing against me specifically. But no, I mean I grew up really young. My brother got me into like Street Fighter during the Super Turbo days, and I met people like James Chen at UCLA when I was like 12. So I wasn't good back then. I was just generally happy to be around the arcades and see people compete. And I grew up with people like Alex Valle and like John Choi. John Choi was like a signature person to look up to. And seeing those guys like doing so well and seeing the Japanese competition made me want to play more. And I got more serious during Third Strike because like, hey, people were traveling to Japan and sorry, I need to take a breather. People were traveling to Japan, and like SBO was so amazing to me when I first saw it. Like I remember the first one there was Izu, and I think with Makoto, and I was like, oh, Makoto can win, and like the stage is so sick, and there's like smoke, and like there's intros, and it was like one of my big dreams to go there. But yeah, so I just kept playing. I played every other game too, like Marvel 2, CVS. I grew up around like pretty much everybody in SoCal that would play a different game. I tried to get better and learn from the other games. And other games incorporated tactics into Third Strike, like like even small things like turtling or I tried to explain it like in the basics video. I know I didn't do like the best job, but like certain players still don't know about like microstepping or a very basic concept of just moving forward and blocking is so useful in Third Strike. It's like it's very crucial. So yeah, I mean, like I'm still playing. I'm not playing as serious as I used to. I would say, like in my prime, I'd play 5 times a week. Now I'm playing maybe like once a week. During Jazzy, I was still playing around once a week because Boiler's really the only place to play at in SoCal. Unfortunately, the SoCal scene is very small nowadays. I'd say it's like less than maybe 12 players. So it's a vast difference from the FFA days. FFA days, we had like weeklies or monthlies, and it was like 40, 50, sometimes 60 people, and so it is different in SoCal for sure.
It was
Sorry,
interesting
I
that
feel like
you.
I'm rambling.
No, no. Keep rambling. But it's interesting to me that you
Okay.
say you feel like people like hate your gameplay or they think you're trolling in casuals or whatever. Because when people. Okay, I'll just tell you a brief story, but I feel like it's not it's like this is one story, but I've heard all kinds of stuff like this, which is like Ryan had given me the advice. It's like 6 or 7 years ago at this point. I was kind of like an upcoming player, and up and coming players get a little bit of a boost in like public perception, like oh, like we're really rooting for
Yep.
you, you're the underdog, and I was trying to lean into that. I was like, yeah, I want to be like a face Chun-Li, right? Like wrestling terms, face versus heel. And Ryan was basically like, no, like you just need to be a dickhead. Like all Chun-Li players are heels. You're not Amir. You can never be a babyface. Amir is the only player that can be the babyface Chun-Li. The better you get, the less people are going to like you. So you might as well just lean into it and be a villain. That's my perception as well. I think you're the most beloved Chun-Li player in America for sure.
Oh, I appreciate it. Like, I'm happy that people don't hate me, but I do know that like Chun-Li is very hated, of course. But like, hey, there was a point though where I played super aggro Chun, and this was like during FFA days, and I feel like I really wanted to break the wall of like being stale or turtly. So I wanted to like dash in and jab like 3 times and like Kara, and like I had that playstyle because people weren't used to it. But once you adapt, obviously you got to shift and not play as aggro. I feel like E has the best advice for everybody: play the game safe at the highest level of competition. And yeah, I mean, I definitely want to make a name for myself to where I could be like a little bit different. I know in SoCal now, I still have like the title of Stand Strong Super, like that's my signature here in SoCal specifically. And I'm seeing a lot of more Chun-Li's do it now, so I'm happy about it. And yeah, pretty much like as long as I can keep playing, hopefully I can learn some new stuff. But I don't know what else Chun can really do. I feel like I'm not hitting my limit, but like I don't know how to make her more unique or less boring, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Now you mentioned playing other games in the arcade. Now I've heard through the grapevine. You can let me know if I'm wrong. I've heard through the grapevine that you're pretty good at CVS too. Would you agree?
I was okay at it. I mean, I made a top 8 at Evo, and I placed pretty high in it. I used to play with like Combo Fiend and everybody, and during the FFA days, like there was everybody was playing like Marvel and CVS too, so I'd kind of venture out and play those games when Third Strike was kind of dead, and I loved competing. Like it was always really fun to enter tournaments. I can't stress enough like the stress and adrenaline you get in a tournament becomes enjoyable. I hope Wax this transfers to you because I know you mentioned like you're stressed out all the time. But when you can like focus that stress into like I'm gonna like beat this person and I'm gonna mess them up and like I'm gonna double jeopardy them like that just it feels really good to have that alertness, I guess you could say. And I've had it all these years pretty much, and still happy about it.
What's your CVS2 team? I'm curious.
The cheap shit, of course. Like I played like A
Blanca
Sakura, A
stock.
Blanca,
Yeah.
yeah, Vega. I played A Bison. My Bison was atrocious though, so but I did okay with Sakura and Sagat. I think I was one of the very few like A Sagats at the time, but like I played them kind of trolly where I would like roll uppercut, roll throw, roll activate. That was like the gameplay. It's like guess bitch, and like it would work out. And like Sagat's pretty strong character, so I used to play him that way. It was fun. But this is back like back when Arturo played and there was a so many other different players. A lot of them are gone nowadays, unfortunately. I think like Vi is the only one that has stuck around. And shout outs to Barcode, Rich, and Vi. They've been really cool, and I'm really glad that they're still running like retro stuff, and we can still play like at the arcade. Like CVS2 and Marvel are still being played to date there, and it's
Mm.
just really cool to see. Same thing with Don's. Like a lot of retro games at Don's doing really well.
Yeah, I just got into CVS2 this year. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to learn that game. It's just like a palate cleanser for Third Strike. Like I want to play a fighting game, but I don't want to play Third Strike right
Yeah.
now. I've been trying to
Yep.
learn CVS2. That game is brutal. That game's it's rough. It's a rough one. I will
I
say
feel
that.
like EO would be better than like official original because you'll just lose to like roll cancel EX headbutt or you know what I mean with like Honda or something. Roll canceling definitely cheap stuff.
Yeah,
Much harder.
I hear CVS2 players like shit talk Third Strike like, oh, you guys are just guest pairing, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're roll uppercut,
Yep.
roll cancel everything. Like, oh yeah, that's true footsies. That's true Street Fighter right there. Yeah, good, great
Yep.
game, guys. So
I don't know, like even today, like that's an interesting topic that you could bring up is like a lot of people shit talk Third Strike has like parry and parry's broken, but it's like players like Remy or characters like Remy need that like or else they're just gonna suck entirely.
yeah,
I know it's kind of broken for the top tier like Yun Chun Ken, but like it's still like you're still guessing to the point where like you're gonna get punished for it. Like so it's
yeah.
like I don't think it's broken. Like I feel like CVS2 is definitely more broken with roll cancel for sure. There's like just gets a bad rap. I don't know why. It's weird. It's such a good game.
Yeah, well, I've seen people on Twitter like specifically mention like just incorrect information about Perry, and it's just like I don't know. I feel like they just watch it from like a noob level, and they're just like, oh well, like he just guessed down and wake up, like he can you just guess, no big deal. Like if you and it's like no, like people know you're guessing, dude. They're gonna punish you for that. Like you don't get to just guess constantly. Like yeah, you can do that, and you may take a game, and that's great, good job, but like you're not going to beat someone over the course of a set just from guessing every single time. You're not the luckiest man on earth. Like it's not going to happen. So yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Another quick thing I want to mention is Daisuke came by recently, and his Ryu is just so original in my opinion. Because like that's probably one character that gets bitched at the most for pairing specifically. I feel like Ryu needs it like desperately for Denshin, but yeah, it's just like players just hate getting. I mean, it is you have to play that style. I don't think you can play Ryu without pairing, is what I'm trying to say. And it's like I don't know why they get disrespected so much. It's like the character needs it, and just seeing Daisuke win without Denshin and without like pairing like a monster is just super impressive. Like he was doing stuff I haven't even seen. I just want to mention it real quick because it was so sick. I think he did like a Stand Fierce EX Donkey kick into low fierce with this is Ryu, and the low fierce hit early, but then he did an overhead. I think the second hit of the overhead hit deep, and then he supered off of it
Oh
with
shit.
this. And I was like, dude, that's like that frame trap is disgusting. And I was like, you don't really see a lot of Ryu's doing that, so it's pretty amazing just to see people do that.
Yeah, Daisuke has a lot of stuff with Ryu I haven't seen before. Like he uses stand short. Like I haven't really seen another like Ryu or like Ken use it. And I was talking to Bubs about it, and
Mm.
Bubs is like, yeah, it's actually one of his better buttons, and like he'll use it in like weird frame trap situations in a quarter. And I'm just like, I've never seen anyone press stand short like ever. That's an accident,
Yep.
usually. So yeah, yeah, Daisuke's sick. So
Yep. I think he's the only Ryu I've ever seen use solar plexus, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, why did you do that button? Like solar plexus and third strike, that's garbage, right? And it's like, no, it's like you're stuck, and then he can do whatever he wants. So that's cool. And then I think I was watching him play Bessels. I think he EX fireballed Bessels in a trap for like a corner. He did it like 5 times, and like Yun couldn't move. Like if you would move, you get hit basically. And I was like, damn, that's a sick frame trap. So
Yeah, Daisuke pretty
all
good.
right,
Wonder if we'll see him at 3SO.
I hope
Maybe.
so.
I
I hope so.
think he mentioned a maybe, yeah. But if he goes, I'm excited. I always like watching him play. It was very fun to play against him.
Yeah. Okay. I think that wraps up all of our planned questions. But there are some questions from the
Yep.
chat if you want to go into those.
Sure,
Um,
sure. I can look at chat. I apologize that I haven't been following.
oh
So,
no,
Oh
you're
no,
good.
you're good. I got them.
We write them. What's up?
Yeah, we write them all down.
Yeah,
So
we write them
okay,
down.
okay, okay.
first one's actually from me. Because you mentioned World of Warcraft earlier.
Okay,
What
okay.
what race and class do you play? And wow.
Torn Warrior or Undead Mage. Those are like
Oh my goodness.
signature. I mean, I played more Mage than Warrior, but I just sucked at Warrior. But I grew up with people like Reckful, Rip Reckful, such a cool dude. But like Swifty, like those videos, those guys, Sony Digital, like I loved WoW. I got to tell you the story now that you bring it up. John D used to make fun of me all the time. Instead of playing the game, I made a character named I Watch Duels, and I would go outside Orgrimmar and just watch people duel. Like that's how excited I was about it. Because I was like, it was kind of like Third Strike, just with like gear, I guess at the time. And when people had equivalent gear, it was skill based. So I
Yep.
would just watch like warriors just get destroyed by mages, and I'd be like, "This sucks. I hope warriors get buffed." And I watch duels.
Yeah, I've been playing a Torrent Warrior since '06. I want to say. Like, I mean, it's like my comfort food. Like, I'll play for a little bit, and then, like a new expansion will come out. I'll get hype. I'll play for like 6 weeks, and I'll stop playing. But yeah, back in the TBC days, I was playing like 12 hours a day, just cracked out, just like go to work for a little bit, go to school, and then just like play World of Warcraft like until I can't do it anymore. So
That was
yeah,
me too. Like John D played a druid, and I remember I got the Swift Zillion Tiger, and he's like, dude, and he was like so mad. He's like, how'd you get the Swift Zillion Tiger? And I got like a Spectral Tiger from buying it from the auction house like 10 years ago or something like that. And those are good times. A lot of the Third Strike community played WoW. They played Dota. They played a bunch of different games. But WoW is definitely like a staple.
yeah, still playing. So if you want to play some mop, hit
Yeah,
me up.
yeah. Yuki hit me up on Instagram, and I was like,
Yeah,
I feel bad because I'm not good at the game. I'm gonna like say it straight up, like I'm really bad. Like if you're like hardcore rating or doing like mythics or something or anything super serious, I'm bad. But like for fun, yeah, I would totally play. And I would definitely play Warrior nowadays. I want to learn.
yeah. That's my fault with Yuki. I introduced him to when retail or not when retail when the anniversary came out again to play like
Mhm.
classic. We were all playing at the time, like me, Sunny, Yuki, a couple other like third check players here, and then Yuki's just been like. I mean, it's so awesome for him because he didn't get to play back in the day, Because like I played, when it originally launched, so like I know everything. But like, I wish I could go through that again with him because he's like, he just doesn't know anything, right? And that's so fucking cool. Like, hey, like, what do I do here? Like, oh, I didn't know that. Did you know that? Like, yeah, I knew that. Like, but it's just like cool seeing him discover everything for the first time, and it's like, man, I really wish I could go back to like '05 and just like get to experience it again. So,
Yeah, like real quick on that, I want to mention stuff. I miss Wind Fury when it was actually
yep,
really sick, and people had like two-hand Wind Fury, and
yep,
just like Grand Marshal gear. Like you knew you were a badass if you had Grand Marshal gear. So
yep.
Yeah, I mean that's something you had to experience back then. It's a little different nowadays.
Yeah, now it's given out like candy. Yeah,
Pretty
everyone gets
much.
it, so everyone's a high warlord. So
Hey, but at least we get housing soon, right? I think.
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm good on that.
You
So
good on housing? All right.
I play retail a little bit casually with some of my friends. Like some of my friends I've been playing the game with for 20 years. So it's like every now and then we'll get like the itch, like, hey man, do you want to boot up retail? Like, yeah, let's go queue some arena, and then we'll play for a week. And we're like, this game sucks.
Yeah,
but
retail gets a bad rap for sure.
yeah, but we're all gonna play TBC when that launches. So if you're on
Sick.
Night Slayer, hit me up. Or
Sure, I might join for a little bit. Yeah, I might. I
for
guess.
sure.
Wait, Lance? Have you played WoW at all? I feel like you'd be like a female human mage. I feel like that's what you would be.
I have no idea. I have never played WoW. I'll my the closest I ever came to playing WoW, and this is again, I was very stupid as a younger person. Still am. Anyway,
Me too.
this girl at work was like, oh, like, do you want to play WoW with me? And I was like, no, bitch, I don't want to play fucking WoW. I didn't realize she was hitting on me. I kind of realized it later, like that and some other stuff. She was hitting on me. It's like I just blew it by and but yeah. Anyway, I have never played WoW. That's the answer to the question.
Well, I think you would thoroughly enjoy mage. Mage seems like something Lance would play for sure. That's like the Chun-li class, I would say.
Yeah,
Just like options at everything and kind of broken.
yeah.
Yeah, Lance, we'll get you there. But I've tried like so long because I like I said, like me and Sunny were just playing like so much when Anniversary came back out. Like Lance, you got to play with us, and he's like, no, I'm not playing your stupid game.
You'll
So
like it, honestly. No, it's a good game, especially with friends. It just amplifies so much with friends.
I think I don't like video games as part of the problem. I've realized that over time is that every time someone tries to get me to play something new, I end up raging at it within a couple weeks. I went through a StarCraft 2 arc for like 6 months last year. That ended in me just rage uninstalling the game, and then I then played Pokemon for the last month. That was Sunny and Cho turned me onto that. That game's terrible as well. I don't think I'm a video game player. Yeah, I think I just
Oh no,
accidentally
that's
played
not
Third
good.
Strike. Yeah, we were playing.
I
What
think
is
you
it?
would like WoW.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, good.
yeah,
No,
Uh,
I was just gonna say there's like a PvP aspect to the games too. So I feel like you want to play games that have PvP or like a rank system because then it feels like more like Third Strike, where it's like, oh, you got to compete, you got to learn. It's pretty much the same concept.
yeah, I am. I was at like 100 elo points away from being top 500 in Pokemon, and I was like, it's like a specific. It's
You're
not a
done.
specific Pokemon. It's like Gen 3 overused Pokemon. Like this is apparently the best old format. We've been like spam talking about it in the Discord for a few weeks, and Ray's kind of tired of reading about it. Um,
I
but
mean,
luckily, I
like,
already rage quit the game, so you won't hear about it anymore.
Oh no.
That game is also
yeah,
bad.
play World of Warcraft. It's fun. World of Warcraft's like the
Yeah,
best off monitor game too. You can just watch shows and level and just have a good time. So
it's chill. Yeah, it's fun. I agree with Wax 100%. Like you got to experience it at least. Just try it.
Are you guys are you all playing? Because I know Ray plays like competitive WoW. I hear him yelling at his monitor sometimes. You
I'll
guys
play
all playing like
retail arena for
competitive
a little bit.
or because there's competitive and
Me
there's
no.
just like we're all on a team leveling up or something, right? That's how I imagine it works. What do you guys actually play?
So I was casual. I never got to play like I played PvP, but me and Tom would just argue with each other because like it's hard. The 2v2s are hard. John D used to PvP a little bit too, but he also would get like super mad and like kind of just get frustrated. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to do both nowadays. I know Wax. So do you PvP now or?
Yeah, I've always been an arena player. Like classic, I like just for the experience. Like I always tell people, like the PvP is so broken in that it's fun to play. It's like I don't know, like yeah, but the experience of leveling is just the funnest. Like seeing the world
Yeah,
for the first time and all that. TBC, that's when I was like no lifing it. Like you said, I would like be queuing arena with my Druid twos partner, or I'd be outside dueling just like constantly, and that was it. Just like and then yeah, I got pretty high. I was like 2300, 2400 back then, which I think that's like not anything anymore. But like back then, I was like number one on the server
oh
for
wow.
Warrior Druid. Uh, and then now I just play casually. Like I'll play retail, like solo shuffle, or if one of my good buddies is like, "Hey, you don't want to heal some twos," I'll do that. But like competitive WoW now is just absurd. Like there's too
Yeah,
much stuff going on. Like you have to have an alternate add-on to tell you how to play the game properly.
yep.
Like there's so much stuff going on the screen. There's like literally a voice in your head that's like casting cyclone, like hit this. Like it's literally someone telling you what's happening because there's so much shit happening on the screen at one time. So it's a really terrible game, but I like punishment, I guess. So I just play it. Like I'll get the itch to play it again, and I'll play for 2 weeks. And I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. So,
Makes
but
sense. No, but maybe I'll try out Burning Crusade with you guys, and I definitely do want to try out Warrior because that was the one class I didn't play. I should have played that as my main rather than Mage.
yep.
Just Mage is so useful. Mage is like in pretty much every game, I would say. I played Ultima Online Super Series a long time ago too. Just bring up some game lore,
Yeah,
and just a lot of people played WoW series and Ultima Online, EverQuest, Dark Age of Camelot, all those games.
good times, good times.
Now,
Mm.
I have to ask.
So,
So, and maybe I'm just projecting here, but uh, I feel like when you play WoW, when you go back and play WoW now, like if you go back and play classic WoW, how much of it is like, okay, I really enjoyed this game actually, versus how much is like, I just remember when this was really fun in 2006 and I was like 20 something with my friends. Like, are you chasing a feeling from 20 years ago, or do you legitimately like enjoy the game of WoW? I guess that's my question.
you want to answer this one, me, or you want me to take this?
We could both answer.
Yeah,
Mine's really short. Mine will be short. I'll just say I
yeah,
think it's
go for it.
both. I think nostalgia plays like a big point, but like Wax was saying, it's just like when you bring friends into it, especially if they haven't played, it's like you want them to experience what you experienced like back then. So yeah, nostalgia plays a big part, I would say. Definitely, but it's still enjoyable. Like WoW is still dominant 20 years later. Like Final Fantasy is pretty much the only other game to compete, and there's been so many WoW killers, like, and it
Yeah,
just never happened. WoW has been dominant longer than any other game I could think of.
yeah. I feel like with classic and like some of the earlier expansions, like TBC and even Lich King, like they weren't trying to sell you anything, and they weren't thinking about like the future, right? So like now modern WoW is very like streamlined. Like they tell you what to do, this is the best, this is optimal. There's really no character progression. Like you pretty much just watch a item level number just go up, and that's it. Whereas like back in classic, like you felt like an attachment to your character.
Yep.
Like I still have my original warrior with like, sadly it's like 180 days played or something on it, like something absurd like that. And like that's forever going to be my character. I can tell you like the first time I got like a Zinrock drop or whatever, or the
Oh
first time
shit.
you hit 2K, like all these like moments that you had because you were like building your character up, that still exists with the classic, like the games, like the original classic and stuff. It's a little bit more like there's a lot of nerds now that min max it and like kind of drive the fun out of the game. But if you're just playing casually with your friends, like there's still that character progression there. There's still like so many good stories, and it's like a social game too. Like it's like you play and you kind of make your own storylines. Like I knew that like, oh, there was a mage on my server named Dewdrop who was an
Yeah.
asshole who would kill me out when I'm questing. So like now when I'm like out in the world and I see Dewdrop, like, oh fuck you, buddy, it's on site. Like I'm gonna kill you. Like and I'm gonna camp you for the next hour. And that's like kind of what the game was. But like in like modern WoW, it's not designed that because it's like, okay, a season comes out, you do the best you can to get the good gear for the season, and then the next season comes out in 3 months, and everything you've done for the past 3 months is gone. Like it doesn't matter anymore. Your gear sucks, character's useless, you're underpowered. Get back on the treadmill, go try to get the new gear again for the next 3 months, and then just repeat. And it's just like awful. It's bad game design, but it's modern game design. Like,
Yep.
I feel like it's Street Fighter Third Strike versus Street Fighter Six, right? Like, like, oh, do I got to learn the matchup? No, there's a patch coming out in a couple of weeks, and like that'll fix all my problems. Like, that's why old game design better. I know I'm a fucking boomer, and that's fine,
Me
and that's
too.
good,
I
but
mean,
like
hey,
the older games were better. They weren't trying to sell you DLC. They were not thinking about expansions and how to build some giant franchise. It was just like, here's what we're passionate about. Here's the game, and that's it. And you play with your friends, and you have a good time, and you enjoy it. So it wasn't a commitment like it is now. So yeah,
yeah. Could you imagine Third Strike with patches like Chun-Li, one super, Ken damage, like, less damage on Ken, or Ginejin being like half meter? I mean,
yeah.
the game would drastically be different. It wouldn't be as enjoyable. I think the broken stuff can make the game interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you like Chun Li is a reality, right? Like if you want to play Third Strike, Yun's a reality. Like okay, if I'm playing X character, this is what she can do. This is what I can do. I have to learn how to maximize my character to beat her. So that's all you work on, right? Like imagine you're working on that, and then like the next 2 weeks it's gone because it's like, hey, they changed something, or like now your character sucks. Everything you put into it is just gone overnight, and I think that's bad. Like it's just not fun. And I mean, people can bitch and cry about the character balance in it, but like, I looked at Capcom Cup for the first 6 months of Street Fighter Six, and it was all fucking Kens. Like 6 out of 8 Kens. It's like, oh, this is what you guys are telling me. My game sucks, and then this is what you're doing. Like, and you
Yep.
could patch this one, and it's still boring to watch. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I'm a hater. And I'm on my
No, it's okay.
my
Don't say
rant,
sorry. I feel like a lot of people have the same opinion, to be honest.
um, yeah, yeah.
I think that's the appeal of
Um,
these something like Third Strike is that you sign up knowing what it is from the beginning. So, like yes, it's not balanced. I personally feel like if it was it's my this is my spicy take. I feel like it was if it was more balanced, it might not be as popular. I think there are some of the mid tiers and low tiers in this game. If they were actually good, people would not enjoy the game. Like, can you imagine, like, if 12 was the best character in the game? I feel like this game would have died in 1999. Like, everyone would
Yep.
be like, "Yeah, that game is so trash." Uh, but you sign up for it, you accept that like okay, it is what it is, right? You either play the Chun-Li or you and Yun, or you make peace with Chun-Li and Yun, and you go from there. Right? I've never understood people who are like oh like I really love Thirst Strike, but I hate Chun, Yun, and Ken. Like when's the Remy gonna be on screen? And it's like no one lied to you. Like you knew what this game was. Yeah.
Yep.
the Remy mirrors. It's super exciting to watch in grand finals of a tournament. So
When's Remy versus 12? Oh, another Chun, Yun, Ken top 8. I'm so bored.
hmm
I don't get it.
You know, there is one thing I would like from modern though, and I'll be honest,
mm,
because Tekken used to do this too, where it's like I want like a third strike card where it has all your data on it of like who you lose to or like your statistics. Or I really would like some more personality. Like if you could have your own color, or like you know what I mean. What if you could have like a Jazzy specific color or like an
Mm.
SBO color that's like that'd be
yeah.
so sick in my opinion, and like no one else could have it.
Well, I remember when Street Fighter 4 came out in the arcades, they had like the player cards, right? Like
Mhm.
it had your like win loss, and then you could have like your special costumes and all that. Like that would be so sick for Third Strike. Fight Kid, get on it. Like I mean, let's make it happen.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, right. That would be
really
so sick, honestly. Just like a third pack and it's all, you know. If it was tournament based too, that'd be crazy. Could you imagine? There'd be even more pressure to want to win. It's like I want that color. It's like that permanent color. So
Did you ever play Street Fighter Cross Tekken?
I did for a little bit. I wasn't super good at it, but I would attend like Super Arcade when Watson was doing it, and I got to see everybody playing. It was a fun game.
Yeah, I remember the
I mean,
color packs for that just being ghoulish.
obnoxious.
Yeah, like you can make like a neon pink and orange Chun-Li, which
yep.
I absolutely did that. You know, ruin someone
No, it's
else's
funny
day.
that you mentioned that though, but like Wax said, like the gems killed Cross Tekken in my opinion. Like if it wasn't for the gems, I think the game would have survived longer.
And the DLC characters being locked
Yep.
on the disc was not yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking from like a corporate standpoint, right? Like how can I sell this product to people versus like I feel like old game design was just like how do I make it a really fun game that people want to play and then they'll buy it that way.
Yep.
It's crazy that game developers don't understand that. Like if I make a good game that's fun, people will purchase it. Not like oh they want to buy this DLC. Like so
Yeah,
sad
like
time.
going back to WoW real quick. I'm not gonna bore the chat or anything, but they have the $90 auction house mount, the Brontosaurus, I think, and then like you said, they're giving away like Twitch drops, but they're giving away like really hard mounts that were hard to farm. Like it would take like months or years to get, and like they're just like, oh, just watch this channel for like 3 hours and you can get it. Like it just takes away that like rareness, I guess you could say. So kind of sucks. Oh, I have a topic for you guys if you're willing to talk about it, as
Yeah.
there's
Of
still
course, of
time. Is,
course,
is that okay?
Oh,
of course.
The hate.
we have 10 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
the hate, the absolute hate towards leverless for Third Strike. I want to know
Mm.
your guys' opinion on it.
Oh, okay.
You're
Mm.
asking the right
Um,
people. Ray and I are very passionate about this topic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go first. I
you want to go
think
first? Okay.
I think
You look
that
happy about going first.
I think that leverless is so strong in Third Strike. I think the ability to instant parry, like jump and instant parry. I think the
Mhm.
lack of like if you can go from guard to parry back to guard immediately with no travel time for the stick. I don't know anything about other fighting games. Like I said, I'm not a video game player. I'm pretty much bad at everything that's not Third Strike. So I have
That's
no
true.
awareness of like, oh, maybe it's fine in Street Fighter 6. I think it's absolutely broken in Third Strike. It should absolutely be banned. And from every, I get that like we're part of the bigger FGC. So if we go to Frosty or Combo Breaker or CEO, like they're gonna do it. That's fine. They can do what they want to. I think it's so broken. Yeah, that's my that's my belief.
Yeah. Yeah. The brokenness. I mean, that's just an understatement. Like the question I always
Yep.
ask people is like, do you think Third Strike is balanced with the parry button? And if you say like, no, it's not balanced with the parry button, then why is leverless allowed? Because Oh, Daigo! Imagine the Daigo parry, and he's just doing this. Like, yeah,
It's
like
just
how
fun.
it
It's
looks
what fun.
bad. Yeah, and I mean that's what it is, right? Because you're parrying like, and you don't have to go to neutral because it's on the lever list. So it's broken in that regards. And then I also think like there's something like beautiful about Third Strike where it's like we only play on arcade cabinet. Like, I mean, this game has survived this long because of how much of a purist people are. I feel like it is arcade culture. Like we've all like decided like, hey, we have to play on arcade machines. This is the most optimal way to play it, and we're all on an even playing field, right? Like I even see like modern game players, they go to tournaments and it's like, well, this monitor is lagging or this one's different or like PC is different than PS5. Like they have all these grievances with it where it's like Third Strike, it's like, no, you're gonna play in a Japanese arcade cabinet with Japanese hardware, and that's what the game is. Like the parts may be what they are, but I mean that's part of playing on arcade. But like, there's something great about like we're all like deciding like, yes, this is the playing field that we're gonna go on, and we're gonna see who's the best. There's no like, well,
Right.
you're using leverless or a pad, or we're playing on this monitor and it's laggy. Like, we're all playing on the same thing, and who's better at that point? Like, there's no excuses really. So I mean, I think it's great to get people into the scene, but I am happy to see like Boa made the switch from like leverless to stick because he saw everyone, and it sucks too for them. Like they're lugging around their stuff. Hey guys, I got next. Okay, let me plug up. Like,
Yeah.
okay, button check. It's like, oh my god, dude. It's like the guy writing a fucking check at the front of the line at McDonald's. It's like just swipe your card or pay with your money and get out of the way, dude. I want my
No
McDouble.
checks.
Yeah, like I want my McDouble now. Like I don't want to wait on you. And that's kind of it ruins the vibe for sure. I will say that. And then it's also just flat out cheating. But not to say they're the bad players or anything, but like you're definitely cheating. I don't know what to tell you. Like I also hate the excuse of like I've heard like, well, you're just scared to play them at their best. Like, well, my best is to have one button macro Daipon loops. Like, are you scared to play me on my best? Like yeah. So I don't know. I don't like it. Uh, I don't hate those people or anything. I'm never gonna like be mean to them for it, but like
Yeah.
you're definitely cheating. So
I see.
yeah.
My take's a little faster. So I used to hate it a lot because
Mhm.
I really do believe it is more efficient. Like both of you were saying, a really good example is like if you're playing Ken Chun, reversal supering anything that Chun does with Ken on leverless feels like it's just effortless. It's just like, hey, what's up? Just do that.
Yeah.
But I still don't want to like thrash it. And I know this is an interesting conversation a lot of people have had because I would say like 90% of the people do not like leverless players. But it's not about welcoming. It's also about like the fact that Third Strike is considered retro. True, like
Mhm.
it's very retro. But I feel like players could get more advanced, and it would actually change up the gameplay a little bit more. Like if leverless came out from the beginning, I think we'd see the game played a little differently. Like I'll be honest, like a lot of people wouldn't be just like whiffing buttons as much if that makes sense, or like maybe even Hugo's could just like gig his way easier, stuff like that. But I am happy that like Boa, for example, showed up stick or leverless, like no matter what, it's like just beast. And I think it's interesting that there's different perspectives on it. I think whatever gets you to play the most efficient, I think should be tournament legal. So like cheating is kind of a harsh word because like Marvel had some cheating things where you could block on both sides,
Yeah.
and they fixed that with I think the SOCD stuff. But like I can't see a situation on leverless being so broken that it should be banned. Do you guys think differently? Like
I
it's
think
just
guard jump. Like think about guard jump. How
guard jump.
yeah, like how easy that is to perform on liverless, right? Because you get
Mm,
instant access to the directions. Whereas like stick, you actually have to physically move the motion to do it. Like I think that's just one example. And even red parries, right? Like you have to go
yeah.
back, neutral, forward or down. Like you have to hit neutral, whereas you don't have to do that on leverless. Like it's just instant access. So
Makes sense. The way I look at it is I feel like it's just more efficient rather than like hella cheating. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like, because technically you could be just like move your stick faster, like,
yeah,
yeah, but like it's just easier on leverless, I guess you could say. So I don't know. Like, I just want to bring it up because it's interesting to me. And like, I think I'm glad that, new players would want to just play Third Strike in general. So like, I'm all for anything. Another quick story. When I met Tom, before I met him, he played John D and he played him on pad. And stigma for pad players were like, like F pad players, they fucking suck and blah 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 blah. And like I was laughing so hard because I'm like, if he can beat you on pad, that means a lot because like I don't feel like pad's very efficient. And like I just remember that specific match because everybody was like, "Who's this like pad scrub that's playing?" Like it's third strike and pad. Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Like so it's just nowadays I'm like, if you play on pad and you beat me, like props to you. Like that it still takes a tremendous amount of effort.
I went to my first tournament, I think, when I was like 14 for Third Strike, and I didn't even realize it was like an arcade one. So
Mhm.
I brought my PS2 controller, like, what's up, boys? And we're playing on the arcade thing, and I'm like, oh my god. And then eventually I went to another PS2 tournament after that, but back then you could not map like L1, L2
Mhm.
for EXs. So I was like, oh, I can't do like a car throw or EX very easy on a pad. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna use stick because like, yeah, like I like if I mean, back then you had to like concede something, right? Like even if I'm playing on pad, it's very difficult for me to do EXs or whatever because I can't map anything. But like now you can just like map whatever the hell you want to your buttons. Like I've seen
Yeah.
some of these hitboxes have like 46 buttons on it, and I'm like, what is
Yeah.
that? What does that one do? And it's like, oh, well, this gives me blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, all right. So, I mean, it's great seeing people get into the game, but like, I guess what we're seeing right now is like Boa switched to stick. Kirby
Yep.
said he's gonna switch to stick. I heard the
Yep.
Nom's gonna switch to stick. So it's really good that it got their foot in the door. But I think they're realizing like, if I want to play this game at the
Yep.
absolute best level with everyone else, I need to be on the same field as them, and they're all playing on stick, and like that's what I'm gonna do.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah,
Now that I think about it, is the US the only place that allowed leverless? I don't think SPO or something like,
they didn't
cooperation
have
cup would
that back.
ever,
Yeah,
right? Like ever. Okay.
And that's always
So
been
I
one
guess
of our
it's like another
arguments.
point too.
Yeah, is that like
yeah,
Oh, just like
yeah, if you want to go to Japan, it is the tradition, right? It is the tradition of like American Third Strike of like we all want to go to Japan and compete. And if you go to Japan, there's nowhere to plug in your hitbox, right? So that's been 3SO's position is like we follow the standard as set forth in Japan. Now we also happen to think it's bullshit, and we're glad to ban it. But that's that we can go off of that standard. I definitely agree that there is value in attracting new players, right? A lot of people like if they see Third Strike played, maybe they see it at co-op or Jazzy or 3SO or whatever. They see it and they're like, oh, I want to try. A
Mhm.
$150 stick might feel like too much of an investment, so they're going to start off on keyboard, and then that's a much easier transition to go to hitbox than from keyboard. So I get it, and I definitely think there is value in the approachability aspect and inviting new players. We kind of just landed on like, okay, we want 3SO to be a very competitive focused event, and that means a level playing field for everyone, right? It's like like in basketball, like LeBron doesn't have like a special magnetic glove that gets whatever, like, oh, he can get to the rim easier, right? Everyone has to play the exact same thing, so that's where we landed on it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, like you were kind of saying, I see the value
Yeah.
in
Oh,
attracting players for sure.
am I back?
fro
Did I lag out, boys?
you froze for a sec. Sorry, Lance.
Oh,
You
okay.
both froze for a little
Okay.
bit. I don't know if it was me or
That
not.
probably means it was my fault. Are we all back? Chat, can you hear us all?
No,
Yeah.
not your fault. You're all fine now. Just I thought I lost internet or something. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
What were you saying, though, Lance? Yeah.
I was just saying that
Yes,
it's
I apologize. Let's go ahead.
okay. Yeah. No, I was just saying that it's a competitive, like 3SO has kind of landed on, it's a competitive focused event. We all have to play on the same playing field. Like LeBron doesn't get have like a special glove that makes him better than other players. It's that's where we landed on it. But certainly the heritage of like we're all trying to go to Japan and compete. That is a big part of it as well. Right. And so if Japan ever changed their
Yeah,
mind, if Newton installed USB converters next week, then we might have to revisit the conversation. I guess. I mean, I don't know.
that's true. No, I agree though. Like 100%. Looking at it that way, it's like if you want to compete at like world level and like you want to travel, like you absolutely have to. That's the standard. Like you can't not. So I get it, but like it's also welcoming for players, which I'm really glad for. So
Yeah.
it's just interesting that lever is the standard now. It's like stick is like boomer mode.
Yeah.
Hmm.
but um but yeah, it's just interesting to talk about. I know there's a lot of hate towards it though. I'll be honest. Like the most I've heard out of like preferals, if you get for the Thursday community in general.
Yeah, I think Boa said last year at Jazzy, like he could like audibly hear someone shit talking him in the
Oh,
crowd.
that's messed
And I
up
was like,
because
Yeah.
but also too like in a situation like Boa or like Kirby, right? Like you're not just gonna like switch to leverless and start winning. Like
yeah.
there's still a certain level of like game knowledge and like risk reward and things that go into it. So it's not that they're just like, oh, they're only winning because they're on leverless. Like there's still like a lot of game knowledge and stuff that goes into it. But I
Mhm.
mean, you have to think at like the highest level, every little bit matters, right? Like every little inch matters, every little spot on the screen, like every little bit of a reaction time. So like when you're thinking at the highest level, like even them having the slightest advantage, like that's still an advantage
Yeah.
that you don't get. So yeah, and it's not that we're banning hitboxes from the open. It's just that we're playing on arcade machines and they don't have USBs on them. So,
No, I think everybody's like,
but they're banned. So.
no one's like aggro about it. It's just conversation, and like
Yeah.
I think it should be the way that way. I mean,
Yep.
technically, there's no other way. So, and it just I wonder what the one of us has to ask the Japanese players what they think, like if they do play against someone on leverless, because I'm curious what they think as well.
Yeah, I don't think I asked Genki that, but Genki actually loves Street Fighter Six. Like he plays a fuck ton of Street Fighter Six,
Oh,
but
okay.
he plays it on controller. Like he plays it on pad. Like he doesn't play on stick when he plays
Wow.
Street Fighter Six. So
Wow,
I probably should have asked him why, but like yeah, he's like real big on pad Street Fighter Six. So
that's cool.
yeah.
No, but like, yeah. So when they're out here, I'll ask them if I can, or if you guys can help. Like, let's translate and get some. If anybody, I think everybody like in chat, if they have questions for the Japanese for 3SO, I think that would be cool too. Like something to look forward to, maybe like a top 20 questions or something. Are you guys going to interview the Japanese when they're down?
Oh, we could.
It depends. Like I would be definitely down to do it, but like I definitely need someone who can translate. Like last year we had Genki, which was like huge because like he could speak English, Japanese, so he was like my lifeline for the weekend. Whereas like this time around, like I don't think Hayao or like I tried speaking to Hayao and Yamoda and like I could understand a little bit, but like not enough to really get through a conversation. And I don't think Hibario speaks any English either, so gonna be a fun weekend. A lot of Google Translate. So
Yeah, I really honestly think you guys should do a show like exactly like this, like a podcast with a lot of the players. I think it would be really cool to see their input on stuff. Like maybe you could ask them like, you know, whatever questions are top five, pretty much. But some other things too. I was looking at chat. I have to explain that. I mean, there is something that I gotta agree with Eon. Whataburger versus In and Out. I'm sorry, guys. SoCal In and Out. Gotta say In and Out. Thoughts? What do you guys think?
Yeah, you're right.
uh,
You're right.
I
You're right. Okay.
I hear In and Out in California is different than it is here in Texas. I don't know, but
Mm,
plus
No.
people will come here and they're like, "I'm gonna try Whataburger," and they get like the number one, like most basic bitch burger they can get. And it's like, bro, you can't do that. Like, get a fucking patty melt or,
mm.
yeah, something like don't just get the number one. Like the number ones, yeah, it is plain Jane, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a Texan. I'm not legally allowed to say anything negative about Whataburger, so it's number one.
Can't hate on it. Immunity for Whataburger.
No,
Uh,
I
Big
was told
Nasty says worst fries in the game. That is true.
for In and Out.
In and Out fries, yeah, In and Out fries are atrocious. Like they're
Yeah,
the
no,
crap.
I actually have to agree that they're probably the worst fries I've ever had. But if you slather them, like with animal style, and
Good.
they're
Yep.
yeah, then it becomes good. It's just like having them just by themselves, they're pretty ass tier. It's like probably S tier.
It's like, do you want fries with that? Like, no. Like,
No, no.
keep those.
Yeah, I was a transplant from Alaska, so I have no Texas loyalty. So I can say it. I can tell the truth. All the Texas player, all the Texas players just they have this slavish devotion to Whataburger that is unwarranted. It's fine. It's the food that you get at 2 a.m. because nothing else is open. In and Out is definitely superior, and it's not any different in California. It's the exact same everywhere. It's just better than Whataburger.
Know about all
Yeah, I
that.
think I
What's
had
up?
it for my first time in Arizona, and I was really excited because like everything looked super clean, and like it looked really high quality, and the price wasn't too bad. It's a little bit more expensive than In and Out from what I remember, but I don't know if it's what I got, but mine kind of just tasted okay. I like the spicy ketchup though; that was actually really good. And my burger was ginormous, but like when it came to like flavor and like sauces, I was like, I just want animal style stuff. Like I missed animal style, if that makes sense.
What did you order, Amir? Do you remember?
It wasn't a patty melt, but it was like a bigger burger with like extra stuff on it. I think it was like green peppers or peppers, something like that. It was a big ass burger, and I was happy with it. Like I said, like high quality, just a little bit more expensive, and In and Out in general for me personally, just like they slather on like like sauce. So I felt like it needed more sauce for whatever I had at the time. But their fries dominated. Like In and Out's trash tier, so Whataburger fries 10-0 matchup for sure.
Somebody mentioned maybe In and Out versus Whataburger team tourney at the Open. Maybe for Sunday we run that. Just line
Let's
people up
go.
and
I'm down.
switch
Teaming
sides.
and
So
out. Let's go.
That's gonna be like all of the U.S. Versus like a few Texas players. That's what that matchup's gonna be.
Yeah,
I mean,
literally. I think Japan's going to be on the U.S. team or on the In and Out team too, because they. I think I'm pretty sure they like In and Out from what I remember. Like generally from what I've seen over the years.
Yeah, we'll take. We'll tell them it's good. They don't have to know. Like it's
If
fine. So,
30 verse 5 like
um, all right. So going on to our questions here. First one from
sure,
Nika.
sure.
What's your least favorite and most comfortable matchup? Like if you were at co-op, which character would you say no thanks to, and vice versa?
Most comfortable, I would say Yun. I love fighting Yun. I don't know. I don't feel stressed out at all. And most scared and most stressful, especially in Japan one game, Makoto. Like, am I just gonna get choked out and just lose? Like, it's also like for me personally, I've never really got to play one game, so I'm sure the mindset is absolutely different. And I can't even say with certainty of how it would feel, but I can already feel the level of stress because I'm a type of player that likes to adapt, and adapting on the fly in one game is so hard in my opinion. So I can't even imagine the stress of just one game overall forever. So
Yeah. Yeah, that is like the big thing with like the old videos, right? Like, people would be like, "Oh, Pyro lost, like he sucks," and I'm like, "He's one game, dude.
it's one
Like,
game, dude. Yeah,
it's
like
literally one game." Like, yeah, YouTube comments are crazy. So,
yep. Or
uh,
like the real quick with that too, like Nuki would miss like a low forward super and it'd be like blocked on urine because like urine woke up or something and did something. But they're like, oh yeah, Nuki sucks. He's like washed up. Dude, it's like one game. Like
yeah,
literally one game out of like 30,000 games he missed a super. Like give him some credit.
yeah, the
Oh,
internet
that
can be
actually
real.
okay. I have a question about that just real quick.
Yeah.
Do you have
Sure.
trouble and now do you have trouble hit confirming versus characters where they pop up off the ground? So this is like Urian, like wake up, jab
Yes.
headbutt. Yes. Okay, great. Me too.
Yes. So I'll give you my new strategy. Thank you, E, by the way. Play the game like your life means like you're gonna die. Remember Squid Game for third strike? So are you gonna risk low forwarding Oki on Urian, or are you just gonna wait a half a second and see what he does? It's not like he's scary on wake up. What is he gonna do? Like the worst that happens, you just block.
Yeah.
Or like Ibuki too. I remember Yogurt Brain, I think, woke up with universal overhead. And I supered, and I'm like, wait, it looks like she's on the ground from that frame, but she's like in the air. I'm like, oh, cool, okay, never doing that again. So just play it safe. It's smarter.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, yeah, I like I play around that for sure. Okay, like again, they'll say like Chun-li cope, but people will commentate your matches like, oh, I missed that hit confirm, and it's like a lot of
Yep.
times, especially versus Yuri and Ibuki, it's like, yeah, I'm choosing not to hit confirm there because I will die if and
Yep.
I don't have the fastest reactions. So if he pops off the ground, I'm just dead. So yeah, I'm just not going. If I do meet him, we're not looking to hit confirm there. We're just hitting the button.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I've learned the hard way. I've had lots of like mistakes where like I've tried to legs or I've tried to stand roundhouse and I'll just get punished. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like I just keep telling myself like, come on, just back up a little bit. Like, there's no real major difference. Like the Oki isn't that mandatory for Chun-Li in my opinion compared to other characters. And you can do really risky stuff like really deep universal overhead into like combos. I still think that's still kind of risky though. Sometimes you have to go for it sometimes, but at the same time, statistically, it's better just to wait, especially since Chen has meteor like pretty much all the time. So it's like just wait, you'll find a different opening.
Yeah, I agree.
Next question is from Nika as well.
Sure.
What's your philosophy on using SA2? Do you prefer to conserve meter for a strong next round, or do you use it when you have it for a life lead? So SA2 meter usage.
I generally think about it like I'd rather go into like a round three with 2 meters than try to risk everything on second round. Uh, it just depends on the character too. Like and it's that's a very specific question in my opinion. But generally, yeah, I would say I would want to have as much meter as I possibly can because I was bitching about it earlier. It's just like Chun without meter feels really rough sometimes, especially against Ken. Ken's like the number one character that destroys Chun Li without meter is Ken in my opinion. It's just like he's just on you constantly. It's hard.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing commentary earlier on when I first started playing. I was commentating one of Lance's matches, and like he was winning the round, but like not confirming super. I guess so I'd be like, "Oh, he misconfirm, misconfirm." Then like immediately when Lance wins, he gets up and he's like, "I wasn't trying to confirm. Like I'm saving my meter. Like I'm not missing my confirms." So like, "Oh, my bad. I didn't know." I thought you
Yep.
just you hit the hit confirm, just use it, right? Like no big deal. So
It's kind of mandatory for her because like it's gotten to the point where players are so good at defense. Like remember I was mentioning like they'll just eat like 10 throws. So it's like if you don't have meter, you're done. Like you need it to potentially win. And at this point, it's like I feel like universal overhead might need to be used more. Like I guess you kind of have to gamble because that's another way of opening someone up with Chun. It's like she has an overhead essentially that leads into half life. It's just scary. Gotta be confident to keep doing it probably. I would say
All
like
right.
the generalness of Chun-Li's though. I mean, I wonder with Nika's question, I wonder who would mention just use it right away. Like I feel like I would say 90% of Chun-Li players would always want to just save it. I would say it. I mean, do you guys think otherwise?
Well, let me go
I
and
will just
answer
say
that
that
question player.
it depends on the like you said, it depends on the matchup. And it depends on how much I want to win the first round. Like I'm fine sometimes with like Nika has lambasted me for like I play Nika online a fair amount. He's lambasting me for this. It's
Mhm.
like I'll be really far ahead as Chun Li. Like in Chun Li Ken, I'll be really far ahead and I'll just spin super anyway to secure the round. And he's like, that's so stupid. Like you could have a bar and a half going in a round two. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but you could just guess parry once, low forward Shoryu,
Yeah.
run a mix up, and then I'm fucking dead too. So like I want the first round. So
Yeah.
yeah, it depends on the matchup. I, in general, lean towards I want to win round one no matter what. Obviously, if I'm really far ahead, then I'm gonna just like, I'll save it for sure. And then I'm fine with like, okay, I won round one. I have no meter round two. Round two is just gonna be like I'm gonna build meter again. And then
Yep.
round three I'll have a lot. I'm fine with that. Or maybe I win round two and it's fine. But yeah, I guess the answer is I save meter if I'm really far ahead. But if I feel like I need to spend it in round one, I'm gonna do it.
Yep, yep. I give like another example, like against Aurora Urian. It's like if they don't have meter, and like I have a higher chance of just like parrying, or you know what I mean. Like I'll just use whatever I have as soon as I can because they don't have anything to abuse it. But if I'm like low, why would I risk that? Pretty much,
Yeah.
like just ping it. It's very specific, pretty much.
Yeah, going back to Resolve, it's like I have been 95% ahead on life against Resolve and I've lost the round. It's like yeah, I'm just gonna spend it to kill him. I don't care. Like I need to get the round.
Yeah. The wall can only be broken so many times.
Right.
Next question is from Brian or whatever. I'm curious if Amir has any thoughts about Chun being a bad beginner character, influencing how gamers see 3S mechanics foundationally. Do you think Chun's a good character to start the game with?
If someone asked me like how can I beat people as fast as possible, I think she's a great character to start with. But fundamentally, you're gonna abuse things with her that I don't think would translate better to other characters, if that makes sense. Um, that's the best way I could really describe it. It's like she's a great starting character if you want to stick with her forever, but if you want to learn the game as a whole and you're willing to take the time, I think other characters would probably be better to learn rather than her. Because a lot of her stuff's really like abusive. Like you can't just abuse like Stand Fierce with like Ken, for example, or Yun. She's an abusive character, so yeah, I would learn the character with Ken. Honestly, I feel like Ken is one of the best characters because he's pretty. He's not like super basic, but you can make him. You can go from like basic to super high skill. It's like a big difference to learn to see the difference, and it learns the mechanics a lot better in my opinion, rather than just like cheating with Chun. I guess you could say. I'm gonna say it's a cheater way to win faster, but it's not going to be beneficial in the long run unless you absolutely just stick with her and her solely.
I think she teaches you a good skill set of risk reward, which I'm learning going back and playing Chun. Like, there's a lot of times where I was learning Chun and Lance would be watching me, and he's like, "Why are you attacking there?" And I'm like, "Well, I got it. I knocked him down. I'm gonna fucking hit him. Like, I knocked him down." And he's like, "No, you don't get to do that. You don't have meter. Like, you're not allowed to do that." And a lot of times he's right. Like, they wake up guest parry. I just die for thinking I can do like
Yep.
a meaty back fierce or a meaty stand roundhouse
Mhm.
or something like that. And it's like, so I think like she's really good in that aspect of like risk reward, right? Like, and I've kind of translated that into like Yun now. It's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't attack here. Like, just be patient. Like, think about game state first before you're like hitting buttons. So I feel like she's really good in that regard. But yeah, Ken's probably the most solid all around.
Yeah.
Can do everything. So yeah,
Like his stuff can translate, I feel like, a lot better. Plus he's like a character, like, Third Strike is a very meter dependent game. Out of all the Street Fighters, I think Third Strike is the absolute like most essential meter building game that I can think of. It's so crucial to have meter, especially with Chun-Li. But yeah, like just I would play Ken, to be honest, to start off. To If I were to tell a new player and coach them, for example, like that would be the staple in my opinion.
yeah. I feel like there's certain characters that's kind of like I started really trying to learn the game with Yun like competitively, and I feel like that was kind of a hindrance for me because it's like Yun can just like, well, his dive kick down in 1 2 3, like, good
Yep,
luck, buddy. And I feel like Dudley's kind of a character like that too, where it's like, fuck it, jump roundhouse, like half your health, I don't care, just go for it. And then they play other characters, and it's just like, oh, I can't do that. And it's like, yeah, not all the cast can just take half your life in a jump in. So
pretty much,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Next question. I think this is from
Sure.
Mustard Pack. Nico Dojo, right?
Sure.
What was the first piece of philosophical advice that had the most impact on how you played Third Strike and or Chun? Would you still give the same advice to beginning players starting Chun-Li today? That's a damn good question, Mr. Mustard.
That that is a very excellent question. That's a hard one to answer. You know, back then I didn't really get like crazy amounts of advice. I just did whatever I wanted, but I mean, I would have to fast forward a lot. Like I said, the most crucial thing I've learned ever is just play the game more safe. Don't be as reckless. And you will 100% agree to this. It's just like don't play risky, play safer. It'll get you further. I'm sorry that it's not like I can't think of anything in the last 20 years that's similar that hit me the hardest. Aside from just trying to play calm and that play safe. Play safe is such a huge thing. I can't stress it enough. It's so weird. It's like once it hits you, it hits you. You're like, damn, like I really played stupid for like a really long time, and now I can get so much further. I can beat this person with ease. And sorry, what was the second part of the question? If you could repeat that.
The second question, part of the question was like, would you still give the same advice to beginning Chun-Li players starting today?
Yeah, I would say play well, okay, that's a very difficult one. Okay, because if I coach someone in a tournament and they're like, let's say it's like just beginners tournament, and I would say abuse buttons because I'm that's me at heart, like abuse certain buttons. Nowadays, it's more like if I get conditioned, I'm not going to do that. I would want to play safe. Like I was mentioning in Silo's match, like I was like, just run away. Like that's the statistic way to play. Like think of the game as like a math game, and it's like what is going to work out statistically in your favor. Like just play the winning hand, I guess you can, or try at least. Like obviously you can lose and it might not work out, but just think of the safe routes out of every situation. Even nowadays, like I used to try to here's a good example. For example, nowadays I need to start blocking against Ginejin. I was like known for trying to like I guess contest against it when Pyro was playing, and I would like I would stand fierce it, I would palm it, I would want to challenge it so I could make it be like, hey, my situational awareness is high and I know what you're gonna do. But I don't think that's the proper way to play. I think that's a flashy way to play, but if you're playing a SBO one game, would I consider doing that? Like, I don't think that's the smart way out. Like I said, going back to like statistically, it's smarter to just block and take the command grab and deal with whatever shenanigans rather than get like die pan for like half your life.
This is true.
I hope that's okay. Sorry, I'm
No,
trying
you're
to
fine.
try my best in my ability. I apologize if that didn't turn out perfect.
No, it's great. And I think that wraps up our chat questions. Chat, any other questions? Anything
While we wait,
else
we can
going?
go through our rapid fire questions.
Sure,
Um,
go ahead.
yeah.
Shoot,
Okay. Yeah, these are our
I'm ready.
fun little end of the podcast questions. You actually already answered one of them. You said your dream co-op team. Uh,
Yeah,
if I remember right, it was like
Ian Pyro.
right,
Yeah,
Sextaro.
yeah, and
Yeah,
Vic
and
if he was around.
yeah. Okay, awesome. Five favorite games of all time, and why?
Oh, Ultima Online number one.
Okay,
I have so many nostalgic memories from that. Are you talking fighting games or overall?
just overall, just
Overall.
games. Yeah.
Super Mario 64, Pilot Wings 64, Resident Evil 1, Final Fantasy 7.
Okay.
But Ultima Online absolutely destroying everything. I have nothing but good memories in my life about that MMO. It was the first MMO for me, so it was kind of magical. I was like, well, you can kill shit and you can like build houses and you have like the Sims in this and just you had everything. It was really interesting. And there was PvP, which I know Wax like. So like in general, just PvP was so sick in MMOs. It was kind of like fighting games for me. I was like, oh, people are competing like for the best and there's like pride and items. And like I said, customization for those were really high in MMOs. So that made me very happy with Ultima Online.
Was
Yeah, I
it just
miss
like
the
the first
Ultima.
MMO in general, or no?
I think there was one before it, but it wasn't like it didn't have the same. It wasn't like the same with graphics. But yeah, it was like one of the first MMOs where you could like ride around on a horse, you could like tame beasts, and like there was like it had everything, which is crazy because like WoW doesn't even have housing right now, and Ultima Online at the time had housing, so you could customize a castle. Castles went for like $3,000 in real life. Like people were selling castles, and $3,000 back then in like 1997, 1999, something like that. It was like that's an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Nintendo 64 stuff was very like I remember a lot and a lot of nostalgia. I was like the controller was sick, it was unique, and Mario 64 was so different than every other Mario. So I remember that a lot too. Really good times.
And you said Resident Evil 1 over Resident Evil 2?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I didn't really get to play
There's
a
a lot.
lot. I didn't finish two. I did not finish two. You're gonna be mad at this.
Mm,
But in general, I played one fully, and I remember when I played one, I was like super young, so like everything hit a lot harder.
yeah.
And technology back then with like CRTs and big TVs, like just playing it was just so cool in my opinion because there wasn't anything like it at the time. So I had a great time with like zombies. I'm a big like fan of zombies and horror stuff. Halloween. Halloween's my favorite time of year, so big for me.
Actually wearing my Resident Evil shirt now.
I know. Look,
Oh,
that's sick.
yeah.
Or yeah, did you see the seven trailer? Seven looks really good. I
Seven,
think it's
yeah.
seven. Is it? It's seven or eight?
Nine.
Oh,
Nine.
nine? Is it nine? Wow.
Oh
Okay.
man.
See, I'm bad. Nine. Nine looks really good. That trailer, yeah, nine.
No, no, but Resident Evil One, same thing. I got it for Christmas. I think I was probably when did it come out? Like '97, I think '98, somewhere in there. So I was like I don't know, a child, but I got it. And I just remember being like, this is as good as graphics are ever gonna get. Like, it's never gonna get any better than this. Like, this is so realistic, and look at where we're at now. But at the time, it was just like, this is a movie. Like, I'm playing a movie. So
It was.
terrifying.
It was scary. Like I don't know. There's so many good scenes too, with like the dogs like breaking through windows and just a lot of things that caught me off guard. So a lot of jump scares.
I tried to get my wife to play Resident Evil 2 remake because I don't play a lot of games, but like I went back and played the remake or the remaster or whatever it was, and I tried to get her to play it, and just like the opening, she was like, "Fuck this! Like this is terrifying. Like I'm never gonna play this. This is way too scary." And I'm like, "All right." So,
Dude, it's good though. You get used to the scare, like the scary stuff, and like it becomes good because, like you said, it's like a movie. You want to know more.
How do you feel about
um,
Resident Evil 4?
I didn't play four.
Oh dear.
I
Okay.
know, I know, I know,
Oh no, this
I
podcast
know.
is over.
No, I know, I know. I really missed out on a lot of stuff. Like I'll tell you some honest stuff real fast. I haven't played all the Mario's. I've only played like maybe five. I haven't played all the Zeldas. Like there's so many things I'm missing. I have them like literally over here, but I never really stream them. So I'm gonna start streaming more often and maybe play like the older retro games to catch up to the new ones. So I could play like the new Donkey Kong that everybody's talking about, for example, or Mario Odyssey, which I heard amazing things about.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm
Resident
lucky.
Evil
Like,
2. Oh, good.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, but my wife, she's like, she plays everything, So like, that's how I like live my life now. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm like, hey, this looks like a sick game. You should play it, and I'll just watch you play it, and then I'll see if it's any good or not. And that's pretty much what I do. So,
That's cool.
but Lance, you haven't played Resident Evil 1 or 2, have you?
Oh my
I
god.
played
Yeah.
them.
See, I don't want to hear your. Have you
Yeah,
played
one
Resident
one
Evil
is so
4?
good.
Yeah.
I played two, but like, okay, so I got into Resident Evil from four. I thought four was like the best single player game ever. I still think it's one of the best single player games ever. I played five after, which was not as good, but it's kind of like okay, it's not as good, but you still like it. It's like okay, it's just more of four. That's fine. It's just a
Co-op, so it
slightly
was
worse
fun.
four.
Yeah.
Yeah, co-op. Six was trash. I went back to play one through three a little bit, but at that point I was too like modern gamer brained. Like the control scheme just did not work for me. Right? The view for how your controls are context dependent. So I could not wrap my head around that. I think I played through Resident Evil 2 with like cheating. Like there's like a weapon you can use that like kills all zombies in one hit or some shit, and I think I just played that. But
Hella
yeah,
cheater.
yeah. I've always picked the cheap
You,
stuff.
you should play the 2 remaster because it's 4 mechanics with the 2 storyline and everything. So it's like it's a great
Mm.
game, really good.
Yeah,
So,
I heard the remaster is really good, like just in general. I think I'm gonna get back to trying to stream it because those games are just, pretty much legendary. So correct me if I'm wrong. Five also had co-op, right?
It
yeah,
did.
Was
five
four
was
the
co-op.
was
Yeah,
was four the first one that had co-op or five?
Five.
4 was the first one where they switched to the like non-tank controls and like the action
Oh.
camera. Yeah, like 1, 2, and 3 was the tank. The overhead like steel shots.
Mm.
And then 4 was the first like it was single player, but it was like action, and then 5 was like co-op action. So like
Yeah, I think
five,
I
yeah, five's not like I mean, it's like survival horror, but it's not like I don't know, like the 1, 2, and 3. You're low on ammo. You have
yeah,
to
yeah,
think
yeah.
about that. Like sometimes not fighting is the best thing. Like whereas like 4 and 5 is like fuck it, mow down everything.
Yeah.
Everything must die. Like
I
just
I
different
think I played
mindset.
I think I played five with Tom. I just remember like there was like hordes and there was like objectives for co-op. I'm assuming it was five, and plus it was like that type of view, I think. And then I remember six, and I'm gonna keep it PG, but six's meme on the actual logo, like who can ever forget about that? That is engraved in my head, and that's really bad. Like I've never seen like a logo that has been engraved to where it's like a meme forever.
Yeah.
So
And that
yeah,
is
that
the
was pretty
best thing
bad.
about that game is the logo.
It's the logo, yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
that game is so
That was
terrible.
bad. Yep. What about VR? Would you guys play the seven in VR? I think seven was oh god, I forgot the name, but that's the one with the house and like all the crazy people.
I played 4 VR. Actually, my buddy had it. Like he bought the VR headset for it, and he's like a giant Resident Evil nut. And it was awesome, terrifying, and then it made me sick too. Like
Yeah, I figured I was gonna ask you like, did you get like motion sickness?
yeah, I
Because
could play like 5, 10 minutes at a time, and I was like, dude, I just don't feel good. Like and yeah, but it was amazing. Like you could literally like grab the gun and throw it up in the air and like reload in the air and like do all this crazy stuff. Um, but yeah, it like the motion sickness was just like too much for me. I was like, I don't think I could sit down and play through this entire thing.
that's sick though. I'm glad that you guys are big like Resident Evil fans because the game deserves it. Like it's just a good series.
Masterpiece. Yeah. Um. Okay, what else we got on this rapid fire questions,
Yeah, those top
Lance?
5 games. Oh, okay. Most important question. Aliens come
Uh
down.
oh.
They're gonna play one game, and if they win, they're gonna exterminate the human race. So you're choosing one Third Strike player to play one game for your life and the life of everyone. Who do you pick, and why?
Wait, can it be people I don't know? Just any third strike player I think would win for us?
You can do. Let's do both. I mean, you could just be like in theory a person you don't know, but then like okay, one of your boys they gotta play one game to save your life.
Okay, okay. If it was in the states, I'll pick Yi for sure because I feel
Okay.
like he's really strong right now. I have confidence in him. If it was worldwide, oh god, that's a tough one though because like it depends on like the year too. Are you talking 2025 or just overall like Daigo Prime back then was I would have a lot of confidence in Daigo Prime, but nowadays, I mean, that's a tough one. I guess MOV. I'm gonna have to go with MOV. Like I feel statistically highest chance of winning, and just if I have to die on that, I'll go out on Chun. Let's go out on Chun. Like
Yeah.
and just
Um.
seeing him play at Evo, just in general, was just like so smart. It's just crazy. He just looks so confident still, even though I don't think he's playing anymore from what I understand, and he's just still that beast. Imagine if he was playing and like really into the game again. So that's scary.
Yeah, him as CEO recently too, right? Like he played
Yeah, yeah,
in grand finals. That Chun, him playing Justin and
yeah.
Justin throwing him like 32 times in a row. Like oh man, that was hype. Like yeah,
It
that's
was. That's the same. Chun Chun could be fun. And then the taunt, and then people were like, "Oh, he taunted." I was like, "No, dude, that's like extra meter and a bunch of stuff." That was the first time I ever saw it in tournament, so that was cool.
yeah. I asked Yuki about that, and he's like, oh,
Mhm.
you didn't see this from like I think it was like 2012 co-op or something. He does it against Lucifer Pierrot.
Mhm.
Like yeah, you didn't know that? And I was like, no, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yuki's an
That's a
encyclopedia.
funny thing.
Yeah,
Like you go to Evo and everybody be like, "Oh my god, he's taunting," and like
yeah,
there's all this like fake hype. It's like,
yeah.
no, dude, he's building meter. But yeah.
You said you're probably dead, by the way, if you picked
You
him.
rely on him.
Oh no, that's not good. No, that's not. He's got to win. Okay.
All right. Any other questions we got from the chat or anything? We wrap this thing up. Going once, going twice.
I have a question for you guys
Yeah.
because it's a question that you guys asked me, but I want to know both your thoughts on who's the most, I guess, improved player in the last like 2 years, and it doesn't have to be one player; it could be multiple players. But just generally curious, who do you notice is legitimately getting super sick, or that you're like, damn, like that's new?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go first, Lance?
Sure. I mean, obviously, I think Resolve's going to be on the top of everyone's mind. I think
Mhm.
any like one who's been around, who's competed, and who's played against him is like, yeah, like you said, even 2 years ago, like we played in casuals like at Jazzy like 2 years ago. And I was winning majority. Like,
Yep.
not to suck myself off here, but Resolve was like someone asked Resolve like who was the most difficult player at Jazzy. It's like, oh, Lance, I couldn't beat him. And it's like, yeah, yeah. And then he comes to Dallas 2 years, and I can't beat him. Like for real. Like I think I won one game in 3 tournaments. Now casuals was I won more, but it was still bad. It was still like I had like a 10% win rate against him. Yeah, I think he not only is the most improved player, but to me, like I kind of said earlier, I think he has ascended into that tier
Yeah.
one status of like, yeah, he's unquestionably top five in America. I think he's going to prove it at 3SO, and I think he has a lot going for him too. Like he told me, like he just doesn't get nerves. He's like, yeah, I don't really like care about tournaments. Like he didn't say like I don't care about tournaments, but he basically said something like, yeah, like I don't get stressed in tournaments. I kind of just decided like I'm just not going to care if I win or lose. It's like yeah, great. That's a great skill set. And when we sat down so he visited Dallas and I've always been, I will go to these tournaments and I'll play some casuals here and there, but it's like, I played maybe 10 casuals across the entire day. Resolve just plays for 6 hours straight. It doesn't matter who you put against him. He just plays for 6 hours. He might take a bathroom break, and that kind of, I don't know, like the ability to do that is, you can understand why he's gotten so good so fast. So yeah, Resolve would be the obvious one. I think someone that's really not entirely on people's radars yet. Like there's a little bit more he needs to do in terms of his own development and also like proving it. But I think Sunny from Dallas has actually made an insane amount of progress in the last couple years. Um, he's like almost there. I think Sunny in another year or two, if he keeps developing,
Mm.
is going to be insane as well. So those would be my picks.
Those are good
Yeah,
picks.
yeah, Resolve obviously. Like we flew him out to Dallas to play him, just to get like experience with Urine, and he just bodied us the entire weekend. Like, and then yeah, like Lance was saying, there's like a spot at like we went to free play to play one of the days, and I think he had been playing for like 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, hey man, you can take a break if you want to, like He's like, no. I was like, well, do you want me to bring you like a water or something? So I just like brought him a water, and he just kept dominating us. So uh, yeah, Resolve's he's a monster. And then yeah, I was actually gonna go with like Sunny or Cho from my local scene. I know that's me like kind of propping up my boys, but like yeah, Sunny is like we used to be kind of like here, and now it's like Sunny's here, and every now and then I'll get a couple on him or whatever, but it's like it's very difficult. It's really hard. He's so good versus Yun. And then Cho recently is just like he's getting more and more optimal when it comes with like Yun. Like there's a spot when he went to New York and he was playing Daisuke to get in the
Mm.
top eight, and like Daisuke was like stressed, and then like it was like 1-1, and like Daisuke like leans over, and I forget who he was talking to. He's like, "You have no idea how hard this is," and then like he ended up beating Cho. It was like super close, but like I was talking to Daisuke after it, and he's just like, "Oh, that's like." Kind of the closest I felt to like the show like gameplay here in the states, like so I thought that was like a really high compliment for Joe, and like he's just yeah he's been putting in so much work with the character, and he's definitely the future of Yun in the U.S. because it sure as hell isn't me. So yeah, yeah,
You got to give
yeah,
yourself a little more credit than that, but I mean, I do agree those picks are really good. Sunny, I did notice Sunny and Cho playing like at Jazzy, and I did notice improvement as well. So like I remember Sunny was playing, and I could just tell by movement there was like different. It was different from the last time I played him in 2023. I think was the first time I played him. I think. But yeah, it's interesting to see. I hope they keep playing and they keep improving because I mean, I know, like I said, like I feel like there's less than 20% of the third strike community is at the point where they want to just continually improve. Like sometimes people, people, it's okay to take breaks or it's okay to play the game casually. But when you're talking about like 3S Open and like Japan, it's like you have to be like, you have to practice no matter what. And you can't just do something like once every like couple months or couple weeks. It has to be pretty often.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
agreed for sure.
I got two
All
more
right,
things I want to mention real quick.
Yeah, no,
One,
go
Chun Li
for it.
sucks on Fightcade. Chun Li is trash
I was
on
going to ask you
Fightcade.
about that. I was like,
Yeah,
if you want to
I
get pour your heart out about that subject, I would love to
yes.
hear it.
Yeah, I would like to because there's been points where I've been so frustrated where I'm like, Chun Li sucks. I mean, the game is faster on Fightcade, 100%. There's no way anybody's going to argue that with me. And like playing Chun Li, you have way less time to like hit confirm. So it's like, why don't I just play a character that's like easier to play, like Dudley, or like like someone that doesn't need that type of like efficiency, I guess you could say, or execution. So I know I get bodied on Fightcade like all the time. And it's just frustrating. So I just wanted to mention that another not Chun down play. It's just a fact. And then one other thing I was going to mention. Last question for you guys, real quick, if that's okay.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one in my opinion. Someone asked me like, what was the longest set you've ever played? And I could mention I played Venka like I think 130 games
Ooh.
straight in one sitting, and I think he streamed it, and we were there for like I think like two plus hours. So that was one. I think like 130 games straight. Another one was I played a barcode to try to challenge people, and I got like a 100 game win streak. That was like a 3 or 4 hour setting as well. And then I think Neiman was the third one, but Neiman destroyed me. Like it was like 54-4.
Mm.
That was another point where I was like, maybe I should quit this game. I'm bad. Like I got wrecked so hard. Like I felt like I couldn't even hit a button. And then that was like another thing that pushed me to try to get better in the Ken matchup because I was just getting shit on by all the Kens. What about you
did,
guys?
did Vinka play? Alex the entire time?
Yep.
Jesus
He ate.
Christ, dude. Oh my god, dude.
He probably ate like 3,000 palms, maybe more. I don't know. It was bad. It was
He
just
is
like,
a fucking monster. Oh my god, I could not do that. Like
hmm
I couldn't.
no, and
Jeez.
he was calm. So I mean, if it was anybody else, like that's like a mental training for you. Like, can you not get mad? So yeah, that's just a. I want to know, what about you guys? What's the longest sessions you guys ever had?
I'm trying to think. When Yuki lived with me briefly and we played, and I mean it wasn't like that long. I think we only played like 30 something games that entire night. But when you don't win any, it feels a lot longer than like what it actually is. Like because like he moved down and then I think we played like the first 3 days and like I think I lost like 34 to something, like 34 to 2 the first day, and then like 30 something to 1 the next day, and then like 30 something to 0 the next. And like I just remember being like, oh, I could lose 100-0 like if you really tried like. So it wasn't necessarily the longest, but like it felt really long to me. I mean, you guys have been on like those losing streaks where it's just like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, man, like I just need one, please, just give me one, and then you start playing worse and worse, and you just can't get yourself out of the hole. Um, but I'm like, I get exhausted of third strike. Like, I mean,
Really?
like I love the game, but like I'm not like a sit down and play like long sets. Like I'll play Yun for like a little bit, and then like I'm very much like squirrel. Like fuck it, I'm gonna go see something else. Like or I'll switch characters. Like I don't know. I can't just sit down and just grind Yun for that long. So I don't really play that long of sets. I'll sit down and get what I need and go take a break and then come back. So
Okay.
Yeah. I think, well, first off, I'll say you're absolutely right about Chun-Li Online. All Chun-Li players are
Thank
I
heroes.
agree with that too. Actually,
you.
I do agree with that. Like learning her, I was like, "Fuck learning this character on the internet." Like there is
It's not
no,
fun.
this is horrible. Like
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
sorry.
difficult.
Sorry,
It's
sorry.
from a reaction point of view, like you have less time to react to things, of
Mm.
course. Your hit confirms not only like it goes beyond like, oh yeah, sometimes hit confirms. I missed my hit confirm online. It's like playing exclusively online or mostly online like damages your brain about hit confirming because you're so used
It
to like
really
not
does.
trusting your confirms because you've seen so many
Mm.
rollbacks. You're like, I mean, there are plenty of reasons why, especially as I've aged, that I miss hit confirms. But that certainly has been a big part of it. Is like, your brain starts expecting rollbacks, even on an arcade cabinet.
Yep.
Um, Tommy got a lot of pushback for his online tier list where he put Chun-Li C tier, which C tier is perhaps
I
dramatic.
agree. Sounds okay. Yeah, it is traumatic. Actually, no. I don't agree. She's still A tier.
She's still
She's A
good.
tier.
Yeah,
She's not SSS. Yeah, she's not SSS for
Yeah,
sure.
I've definitely I've made the point before like online the tiers do shift. Like Chun Li's still good, but like if you don't think Yun's the best character online, then I don't know what to tell you. Like that character, this guy just runs away from you, does an instant shoulder you don't even see. He activates off of it, and now 70% of your life is gone. You're like, cool, that's sick. Uh,
you get hit by those offline too, Lance.
that's fine, but at least I earned it. Like at least I know I deserved it on an arcade cabinet. Longest
Well,
sessions, I think. Just offhand, just what immediately stands out to me is I think I stayed at. So I visited LA twice, like 2016, 2017. There was one session where like everyone had kind of gone home at dawn, so it's just me, Tran, and Yi, and we're playing till 5 a.m.
yep.
Yep, and we're just sitting there, and he's just yelling stuff at us. He's like, "No, show me a new move. No, I've already seen that one before. Show me something new. Show me some creativity. No, new move, new move." And I'm like, "What is? It's 4 a.m. Jesus Christ." Yeah, so that was probably a really long session. I also used to when I visited Japan, like Ryan was like my first like the good player who I was like friendly with, and so he kind of took me under his wing. And so I would every year I would go to Japan and I'd play Ryan like first to five in every matchup that he played. So he would just try to beat me with Chun, Ken, Yun, Makoto, Dudley, Yuri, and
The whole cast, random
yeah,
select.
we would just first to five the entire thing. So we did that every year for like 3 years in a row. So yeah, I think those stand out off the top of my head.
I think you guys should try like a first to 20 or a first to 30 between each other. Like I'm just saying, it actually really is interesting because you actually have a lot more to think about afterwards. I know it sounds like, it might be stressful. I know I actually mentioned that you get tired about it. Maybe do like a first to 10 or a first to 15. Um, but it's a really good way of like testing your mental capacity over time. Because like when you go to tournaments, you're there for like 12-hour days, right? And like you want to be as sharp as possible. But when you do those, like you actually like the more you play longer sets, I feel like it really like gets you to get used to it and feel more comfortable overall. Like that's a piece of advice I would give everybody, to be honest, because I didn't used to do that. Now I'm just like maybe I should play a first to 10 or first to 20, even longer if I can, because it really does help mental stack for sure, like 100%.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'll
agree.
give it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
I mean,
No,
that kind of ties into I've observed that like okay, like some of the best players that because there's been like okay, there's players who've been good forever, right? Like so like Yi's been good for 20 years, but there's a generation of players who got good in the online generation who got really good, right? Like Kang and Nika really rose as like superstar players in like the GGPO and onward era. And if you look at their Fightcade history, they've played each other 5 billion first to tens, and they just keep playing. I don't have that kind of passion, I don't think, but it shows up in their results. Like I know Nika says Kang is not my rival. Nevertheless, they appear to be rivals from the outside. Yeah, it's clearly done. It's clearly been beneficial to both of them. That's all I'm saying.
that's true. No, that's cool though. Like, I wish I had like a player card to know how many matches we had. I don't know how many I have had because I played a lot during the family stuff, but it'd be interesting to see that. And yeah, Kang's super strong, Nika's super strong. Can't wait to see them play at the Open. There was one other thing too. Sorry, I know this is like 3 hours, just too long. I got one other thing I want to say
No,
real
you're
quick.
good.
No,
You're
no,
fine.
we're good.
A little funny story. So we were talking about 5K being fast. There was a tournament I went to with Justin and Vi. It was a very long time ago, but they had like the most laggy monitors I've ever seen in my life. It was like a second of delay,
Mhm.
if not even more. So we're like, what character? Me and Justin like pulled over and we're like talking to each other. We're like, hey, so what character are you gonna use? And he's all like, well, who do you think is the best? And like we're just like trying to think, and we're like, we came up with Dudley and Hugo because it was so laggy that if you did jump roundhouse with Dudley, you couldn't react, you couldn't dash, you couldn't move. So laggiest best characters in the game, in my opinion, definitely Dudley Hugo for sure. So, but it was just funny because like the whole tournament was like, who else can we play? Like we didn't want to play our mains because it was impossible. Like it was just, what can we abuse the shit out of like as much as we humanly possibly can.
Yeah, I think Deadly's boosted online a lot. I will say that. Like jump roundhouse is fucking. You're never gonna parry it. You're not gonna react to
Yep.
it. Like I try to dash punch under a lot of them. Like if he does like jump roundhouse, you can dash punch under, and then you have the whole screen. That shit's impossible online. You're just gonna get tagged by it. I have to like guess that he's gonna jump in order to do it. So
Yep.
yeah, I hate online Dudley. I think that's my most hated online character. Can't do it.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything I could think of for stories. I mean, there's a lot more, but like there's just old school stories. It's funny. I just want to tell you guys about like what the players' like mindset was. It wasn't even about winning at that point. It was just like trying to play like underwater. So it's like weird.
Yeah.
You said this was at a VA tournament, right?
No, so like it was me, Vi, and Justin, and we were at I forget what it was. I think it was like one of the first big like Razor tournaments because I think Arleith was there too, and it was just really laggy monitors. Like I cannot describe how bad it was. It was the worst I've ever played on in the history of fighting games. And we didn't have an option. Like at that time, it was like you play on it or not. Do you want to win? Do you want these prizes or not? So it was just funny that like all of us were like hurdled up and like just talking like so who are you going to play, what do you think is the best, like we were actually telling each other too, we're like I think this will work, I think this will work. And Chun and Ken and Yun were not on that list at all, like no one played that tournament. So but yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, on laggy monitors, I would think. I mean, just offhand, I'd probably go Yang. I would think like straightforward execution definitely gets a little boost in lag. Yeah, I'd probably pick Yang. I
you'd
think.
have you'd have to like pre-buffer every slash though, like it would come out like literally a second and a half later, like it's bad, it was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Ray has the
the
best
original
slashes.
monitor, the original monitor they had at the what was it, Hawaii suite at Evo, that felt like that. I'm not sure if you got a chance to play any games on that. They ended up switching it out after like in a little bit into the tournament because you were at the suite, at the Valle suite, right? I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure you were. Yeah. Did you play on the first monitor they had before they switched out?
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
think I was watching mainly, it was bad.
it was like a second and a half. Yeah, like it was
uh,
like I was like, oh man, like this is like worse than any online set I've ever played. I felt like yeah, yeah. I just like had center blocks on my feet the entire time basically. So yeah.
Yep.
Where are you gonna see the Lance?
Um, I don't remember. I probably just. Oh, I think I just said. You just do EX slashes like Ray does. He just Just spams them out with no regard
Yeah,
to
I
timing.
can't do slashes. I don't know what is wrong with me. Like
Um,
my hands don't work that way.
Here's another thing I want to mention. You said something that I can notice, or you said what is not special, but something that is about me personally
Hmm.
is this is funny because Tom keeps asking me like why I do this, but like I'll look at the way people play with their hands, and I can tell you if their execution's good or not, like immediately. Like and like there's certain players that play really. I'm not going to name anybody. I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but there are certain players that definitely need to know how to control their characters a little better. So I was telling Tom this from the very beginning when he switched from pad to stick too. I'm like, don't hold the stick this way, or like, do it this way. But when I was at Jazzy too, I was trying to get like a B-roll to try to make a video, and I totally failed day 2 and 3. I only did day 1, but I did get a couple like clips of people playing, and I'm like, they could definitely improve on holding their stick right, or execution wise. It could be much faster. I wish I could tell them, but I don't want to come off as like a total asshole.
Yeah.
So I just want to be like, hey, if you did this, you would improve your efficiency by a lot, and like this would be the proper way to do it, in my opinion. But yeah, just in general, it's just interesting. It's something I don't know if any other player does that, but like, do you guys look at like someone playing and you're like, oh, he could be better if he held the stick right, or if like he hit a button differently, or his hand placement? It's very specific.
Whatchamacallit, Ben Carapom, he actually made that comment about me. He's like, how do
Did
you
he?
hold? He's like, how do you hold the stick that way? Like, he's like when you hold it like going from P1 to P2, like you're fine, but when you go from P2 to P1, like you basically don't even like hold the stick. It's just like open grip. And I was like, I never thought about it, but I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. Like, I was like, that's probably why my execution's like dog shit, like going from P2 to P1. But like,
Dude, I
that
need a
makes sense.
video now. I need the wax player one, player two, like both sides, how he does like palms. Like I will confirm this, and maybe agree with Ben. I don't know.
And then before I met Lance, like I went to a free play tournament and I had no like I was so green. Like I think this was like what was the tournament called, Lance? It was like summer series or something
Yeah,
at free
spring
play, but
series.
there was
That was the one that Ryan, Yuki, and Kang all came out to, and all of
yeah, but there was like
Texas.
a big prize pool and like I was going to free play at the time and I didn't even like I was just kind of like getting into Third Strike
Mm.
and I went just on a Friday night because that's what I did and I was like oh shit, there's like a tournament here and I seen Lance playing and like I looked at his grip and I was like there is no way this guy is any good at third strike with this dainty grip. Like, there's no way he's getting anything out. Like, it's impossible for him to like be good. And then he kicked the shit out of me basically the entire day, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong, I guess. So,
Yeah, I've gotten a lot
The-
of people commenting on my grip, but someone sent me a picture of Kuroda holding the stick, and it's
mm.
identical. So me and Kuroda just, in some ways we're similar, in some ways we're very different. So I'll just say that.
No, this I have to see. You got to post this on Twitter. I want to see this. I actually might make a video about it too. Like I'm just gonna be like, I want to see like the different play styles of holding the stick properly or not. Because there's some people that don't hold the stick at all. They just literally hold the ball with like their top finger, where it's like this is like a water bottle, and they'll just control the top. Like I'm like, how do you play like that? Like there's no, you know what I mean? Like there's
yeah,
the accuracy would be so much higher. So I don't know.
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Maybe I'll make that thread on Twitter. See what we get.
I will literally go to like the local or boiler or something, and I will screenshot everybody's playstyle just to like to show it. Or just I think video is a little better though, because video shows you like how fast you are too. Like certain players don't move the stick fast enough. I know that sounds really stupid, but it really does matter about efficiency. Like I promise.
You'd have a show like reviews people's grips.
Yeah.
Like top 10 worst stick holders, or you know what I mean, something like that. But someone came up to me and asked me, I forget who, but they're like, "Hey, do you pre-buffer your supers?" I think Bubbles asked me too. And yeah, like literally every single time I'm hitting a button, I'm pre-buffering the entire motion. And I feel like Chun-Li desperately needs that for every button she presses when she has meter. Like you're literally just hearing the sound or the actual animation rather than the actual motion. Because if you do it the other way, it's way too slow. And there's other small specifics too. Very short story. Sorry, I don't want to bore you guys, but this is
Yep.
very important. Kokujin is the only Dudley in the world that literally would walk up and low short corkscrew my low forward as Chun Li. Now just imagine that you have to micro step forward and on reaction low short super,
Mm.
and it wasn't an accident because he did it like 3 times, and I'll never forget that because the amount of execution you have to have, I'm pretty sure he's negative edging it. He's probably holding down fierce and then walking forward and then hitting low short, pre buffering and letting go of fierce if it hits. So it's like stuff like that is like the optimal stuff you have to do in this game to get like that that good in my opinion. I'm like 90% sure he was negative edging. I'm pretty sure because it's so fast. Unless he's just like God mode. I don't know how else he could possibly do it. Yi says in chat that he thinks he just does it, but the fact is, there's no other deadly like does that, and that's something I feel is incredible. Like that puts you on a level where it's like, yo, my awareness is so high that I'm this good, and that's conditioning too. You're like, damn, this guy's so good. I don't want to hit low forward anymore. Like I'm
Yeah.
just gonna run away and block. Like forget that. Like I'm not gonna risk that again. So just
Like I
something I
seen a
want to
video
mention.
of
Yeah, I remember
I seen
gunfight.
a video of
Oh, go ahead, Ray.
Kuroda. I seen a video of Kuroda confirming low short with deadly. Like he could hit confirm it, which is like fucking.
Yeah, it like blows my mind every time I see it. I'm like, did he really do that? Like, damn, that was sick. Like, yeah, it's hard, but execution in this game can be really crazy. Like, we should all kind of like aspire to get to that level, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was reading. So this was posted a long time ago, but I was just rereading it recently. There's an SRK thread of like, what was it? It was Boss's questionnaire for top third strike players. So Boss asked like a bunch of different guys like a bunch of just like standard questions, and one of the people interviewed was Kuroda, and Kuroda was talking about his training exercises for like I want to be able to react to everything because I think we can all like Kuroda like he
Yeah.
just guards everything on reaction it seems like or maybe he's doing who knows, but he talked about literally like yeah I'd be on my bike and I would sit at the intersection and I would just wait for the light to turn white for the walking signal to turn white and I would immediately go as fast as I could and this is how I train my reactions every day. Yeah, so maybe
I
that's a
agree with
secret.
that though. I think that's sick. I think that's so unique and cool, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like real life stuff like that, it's just it really does help, honestly.
That's the secret.
But
Just as soon as you see a green light, it just floor it, Ray. That's the
What?
secret.
just floor. Freaking Kuroda, dude, these little secrets. So I mean, they matter. They really genuinely matter, though. I swear.
Yeah.
Like when you have that mentality, it just makes you want to get faster too. So you're basically hyping yourself up. It's gonna benefit you no matter what.
He's stupid. I used to not turn on the windshield
What do you say?
wipers during heavy rain to work on my Yomi. All right. Okay.
All
I
right.
think is that everything?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you guys again, honestly, for having me. I apologize for not being on sooner. I apologize to Wax specifically for waiting so
You're good.
long to be able to do one of these. And I had a blast. You're right, you guys are right. It's like hours already passed by, and I still have so many stories to talk about. But I feel like maybe for a part two, maybe in the future.
Yeah. Let's do a
Yeah,
part
let's go
two.
for
We'll
it.
do like a live at 3SO part two and just tell
Let's do it. I'm
stories.
down.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm down. It'll
Yeah,
give me some time
eventually.
to think of the best ones. So
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to do like a round table before the open, just like some top players, get them on, just talk about mindset going in, matchups, all that fun stuff. And yeah,
I've always wanted
I
to
had
have
a
a sit
question about the
down
open.
and just like everyone just swap stories. Like I've got a lot of stories, and I think everyone does. All my stories end in me being uh, like all my Japan stories. Like I lose at the end. So those are yeah. Anyway, but I've got some good ones. Like the time that we had to, like oh we went to the wrong place for the first cooperation cup that we went to, and we were like 30-minute jog away, and it starts in 30 minutes, and so RKF comes up to us and he's like, "Oh, I know where you are. I'll run to you." And so he gets to us. And he's like, "Okay, you have to jog the entire rest of the way back, and you won't make it on time." And the Japanese, they always start on time. They won't wait for you. So yeah, me, Gavin, and Karsten, all very out of shape, had to jog 30 minutes to get to co-op on time for our team to start. Yeah, got a lot of stories like that. So I think just like a sit down story session with everyone would be really sick.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I want to hear about them. I'm always down for stories like that. I feel like well, can we talk about 3SO a little bit before closing out? Is that
yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Do you ever think about doing like maybe like a spicy challenge or something like that for like the Japanese to try, like a hot sauce challenge or something? I feel like it's a very Texas thing to do, like a Carolina Reaper or something. Like I don't know, like obviously within safety rules, of course, but I
Yeah,
think it's just funny. There's so many things that would be interesting to watch outside of third strike before tournaments. But like you said, like I feel like is anybody going to be recording interviews and such? Do you guys plan on doing a video in the future?
so last year we had Guile Winquote. He came out and did some
Hmm.
interviews and things like that. So I think I'm probably gonna ask him to come back out and do some interviews and stuff with players. I'll try to do my best. Like I was watching your vlog actually, and like that's something like I've always wanted to do. Is just kind of document like the experience of traveling to a tournament, like what it's like and everything. But I'm also very lazy. So
Me
it's
too.
so it's like really hard to film, and then also too, it's like you know how the day goes by so fast, and it's like it's hard to like really capture everything.
Mm,
But I feel like that would be something sick to do for the entire weekend. It's just like go through like setup and production and to all the fun stuff like you know what it comes with like traveling to one of these things because I feel like it's a great like you know I'd really ever never had a bad time traveling to tournaments for the most part like it's always
same.
the players make it even if you get to the tournament and it's like maybe not the best setups or whatever but like your friends and the community is like what makes it worthwhile to go to so I
Mm,
think just like capturing that experience and showing that to people will like entice people to get out and travel to these things because it's so much fun it's just a
yeah.
blast.
People are definitely missing out, especially when I know food is probably the easiest to record, but like you said, like recording at the airport for me, it was like super awkward. I mean, my video wasn't great, but it's a start. Like I had to break out of the shell, if that makes sense. I've been in the community where I'm sociable with everybody in person, but like on camera, I'm like complete ass tier. Like I feel nervous when there's a camera in front of you. Even right now with like the webcam, for example, like I'm not used to it, but it's cool to see like what everybody's doing or if they're playing games. Like recently at Boiler too, there's like ping pong stuff, so they're playing ping pong. It's just
Oh,
funny to
nice.
see like Third Strike players taking ping pong super seriously, but it's like the same amount of like competitiveness.
Yeah.
And it's just really fun and would be cool to see. You got to send me the videos or where I can see the interviews from last year because I missed those and I would love to watch them. So
Yeah.
def-
Yeah. I'll plug
definitely
them in. Yeah, he had
definitely let
like
me
a bunch
know.
of like preset questions, like who's your favorite player, like just like asking general third check questions, and he asked like some American players and like the Japanese. So yeah, it was really cool. And then Gal One Quote just does good content. I'm not sure if you've ever seen his stuff, but yeah, good guy too, and he really loves third strike and supports it. So good
That's
dude,
sick.
good dude. Yeah, shouts to Leighton if he's watching this. He's probably not.
Sweet.
So.
All right. Well then, I guess what time is it there for you guys? I think it's like 12.
Yeah, 12. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry I was late, but
No,
No,
this
you're
is
good.
good.
I work from home tomorrow. I don't care. So.
Yeah, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
This was great. I enjoyed the conversation. It's very organic. I know even though we kept doing one more. I think they were all worthwhile
yeah.
conversations for sure.
I think we got our stress out on downplaying Chun.
Yeah, I think this might be our most popular episode. Everyone's gonna love the Chun-Li players telling you how hard she is. They really like that.
Yep, they're gonna.
Oh, here,
Okay,
he
okay.
actually.
This has
This
been
was the
asked eight
massive
times in the
top.
chat. We can ask top five white players.
Oh God.
Top five whiteys. What you
Okay.
listen here?
Oh wow, that's a tough one. I mean, Pyro's white, so I would consider Pyro's got to be in there. I think, right? I don't. I can't even. That's a tough one to think like on the fly. Um, but what about you guys? You guys can chime in on this one for sure. I need some help here. Need a
I got my
lifeline.
I got my top five
So
whiteys.
wait, Sunny.
Sunny's super white. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll go with
uh,
Boa's white, right?
oh yeah, Bo's white too. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
I
go
think so.
Boa.
Yeah.
Sunny, Max Gamer Mode, Mountain Dew, forever. Uh, rank 14 player. Yeah, Sunny for sure. Lance, obviously.
Yeah, Lance would be in there for
He's
sure.
Thank
white
you.
as it
Thank you.
gets. Makoto Mike.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
mommy
Mike's in
is
there too.
sick.
Ooh, Mike's a good one. Yeah, Mike's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
And then who's rounding out my team Whitey? I feel like
I like that.
I feel like I'm missing an obvious one.
I know we're missing so many. I just can't think off the top of my head this fast because that's a good question actually. If it was like Asian, it would be so much easier right now. Like I don't know, I could name like 5 other Asian,
Yeah, the
but
problem is there's
white's
not that many
tough.
sick white players, so you just can't think of five.
No, I'll put Ty on there too, just for Alex Nation. Rennick.
just
Go
just
Rennick.
for like consistency with Alex, probably.
He's gonna do something hype with Alex. You gotta put him on the team. So yep, that's my top five whiteys for sure.
That's top 5. Yeah, I couldn't put Tom because Tom's not. I mean, he looks white, but he's not. So I guess he would. I guess he could, huh? But no, I don't know. I think I want to see like a Ty versus Tom. That'd be interesting at like a 3S Open. But yeah, that's a pretty good solid around team. I would say.
Lance, you're captain of Team Whitey, I think. So
Yeah.
who's your squad?
I would say
Who's going into battle with you?
myself, Makoto Mike,
Shiro Shiro
Boa for sure. I think those are all like for sure.
locked in.
I will, even though he doesn't really play anymore, you got to give him his respect. Steelhammer is the greatest white player of all time.
Oh shit, I forgot about
Yeah.
Dan, dude.
I
Yeah,
guess it would
Dan.
have to be current players.
Yeah, yeah. If you have to take current, then we'll take Dan off.
Oh, you guys totally missed Poe.
I
Oh yeah,
fucking forgot Positive,
Bro,
dude.
Poe,
Oh
yeah,
man.
Poe.
Sorry, Ty. You're off the
Yeah,
team.
yeah, Ty, we got to kick you off, man. Sorry.
yeah. I say Poe and
But
Therapist, which is weird that there's two white Goki players, but and then there's Luke as well. Like all the white people play
yep.
Goki
Holy
apparently.
shit, yeah, Luke.
There's all
Okay,
Goki,
okay.
yeah. So it's me, Mommy, Boa, and the three Gokis can play for the last two slots.
We'll get down to this race stuff at the Open, boys. See you guys
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a
I
minute.
feel like
Oh yeah,
you need
we
a little time to like, got to cook on this question.
yeah.
Oh,
When for
yogurt
Ray's
brain,
war,
yeah. Yeah, yogurt brain's a good man. Okay,
there's
Whitey's not too bad.
apparently there's a lot of talented white players. Who knew?
hmm
All right, well, we'll end it on
I
that one, I
don't.
guess.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. I think that.
Amir, just wanted to say thank you for
Yep.
coming on doing the podcast. We appreciate you. Appreciate all your insight. Once again, congratulations on the second Jazzy victory.
Thank you.
Repeat next year.
I'll
The
try.
three
I
time,
mean, if I can get lucky again, sure.
the hat trick, the hat trick. So,
I will try. If I don't crash out, like complaining about Chun, then I will try my best.
well, once again, thank you for joining us, and that's it, guys. We'll
Thank you
go
again
ahead and
for
wrap
having
up
me.
there.
See you guys soon, and I'll be around. Just let me know. Hit me up.
Okay. And then
Awesome.
check for YouTube. Chosen, you're probably still in here. Make sure this gets uploaded to YouTube because I don't know how to do that. So, yeah. All right. We'll go ahead and stream there.
All right.
Thanks,
Good
See you
night,
guys.
everyone.